And welcome into the Wednesday edition, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game, presented by Green Ventures Landscaping for homes and businesses that want to stand out, not blend in. Visit greenventureslandscaping.com. Live from our Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville studios, home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership where the buzz is always about great service. Robbie Stanley, Joe Rexrode, Ian Safar here with you on this Wednesday morning. Joseph, good morning. How are you?
I'm okay. Apparently, everybody's okay here. Apparently, we got hit by lightning last night, but we're still standing, so that's good, right?
I mean, yeah, well, that's good. Yes.
yeah.
There's some after
effects.
There's some after effects going on in here this morning. It kind of feels like not the nerd out here, but like for those who have been to Disney World, who like rode the Tower of Terror, and you go through that little queue and the lightning strikes the top of the tower, kind of is what we're like today. You know,
there you go.
We're the Tower of Terror. That's our show nickname.
Okay. And there's gonna be we're gonna have to like compensate for some things we're missing today.
Which anytime you can hand us, us two geniuses of radio, more things to do, better off we're all going to be,
Yeah, I got some impersonations if you guys want, I can make some sounds with my mouth and my armpit.
Our bump music coming back is just going to be Rexrode coming up with different melodies. We're off to a great start.
Yep, absolutely.
Off to
Good
a great
show
start
so far.
Yep. Ian, how we doing? What's going on?
Good morning. Doing just fine, thanks. Yep, we are on the air and we are on. Might be a little limited today compared to normal, but doing just fine, thanks. It was a beautiful day yesterday. Watched some Spain and France and hung out with the fam outside a little bit. That was about it.
Do we think lightning struck the top of the building? Is there, do we get kind of a blow-by lightning? Was it direct hit? What do you think?
I was unaware of any of this until I came in today.
Okay.
And saw the note and a couple of computers acting a little funky back here. So I'm not really sure what happened.
I'm going to go with direct hit. That's the story I'm going with. It may not be true, but that's what I'm going with.
Well, I mean, if Chase is up, Chase, call in, let us know. But I just saw a tweet. We tweeted that we got hit by lightning. That's all I know.
I take that as direct hit.
Twitter,
know?
Yeah. Right. It says we got hit. So, but it's just a question of direct hit where.
I'd love to know where.
Yeah. Yeah. But most of the stuff is working. A lot of the stuff is working.
I mean, you would think if it was a direct hit, some of it be maybe even supercharged a little bit, We'd have maybe our TVs be working just a little bit better, or maybe our power, every time we plugged it in the outlet here, our devices would immediately be charged.
Like a Marvel movie?
Yeah, a little
basically.
supercharged. Yeah.
Alyssa Milano would be in 3D up there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Just walk out of the TV.
Show definitely wouldn't happen if that was the case.
Yeah.
At least Rexrode's part of it.
Yeah.
Hey, well, he's gone.
Yep. Sorry, guys. Yeah. Gotta pay Katie back for what's his name?
Jason Bateman.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
Who's apparently the worst podcaster of all time, according to Rexrode.
He's a fine podcaster. He is one of the worst interviewers of all time. And I understand that's not his professional job, but you should listen to it. It's amazing. Again, he's funny. He's a good actor, all that stuff. I like the podcast. But when he actually breaks down to get to the point of asking someone a question, it's incredible, man.
Just brutal.
It's incredible. Yeah.
Now I kind of want to hear it. You've kind of sold it to me to the point where I want to hear it.
Smartless. I've said before, it's the only podcast I listen to. It's really just when we go on trips. Katie's like, "Want to listen to Smartless?" Fine. Smartless is good because they always have great guests. They have star, they're like Radiohead. They had the Pixies on there one time. They had Radiohead on there one time.
They have Charles Robinson? I don't think so.
They have not had Charles Robinson as far as I know.
Well,
yeah. They're getting there.
Kuharsky.
Good point.
You imagine Kuharsky and Bateman in the same room?
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Would you ask a question, please? Get to the point.
Yeah. No, it's a good podcast, but he is and meanwhile, Sean Hayes is very good. He asks quick, quick, open-ended questions.
Sure.
That's what we're all taught, Try to get in and get out and open-ended. Try not to ask yes or no questions. And don't make a statement when you're asking a question. Ask a question.
Sure.
So, yes, free ads for the Smartless podcast.
There you go.
There you go.
Hope everybody enjoys it.
Yeah.
Out there. Well, this shows you what kind of the depth of my soccer knowledge looks like, Joe. Yeah, I said France, far and away, best team. France going to go out there and win. And then France just gets smacked yesterday, 2-0 by Spain. So, first off, shout out to Spain. I guess even if we would have taken down Belgium, we'd have been in serious trouble based on the looks of it, of the way that this is played out. But France lays an egg out there yesterday against Spain, and Spain has punched their ticket to the World Cup final here, and they'll await the winner today of England and Argentina. What do we make of that?
Yeah, it was really impressive. And Mbappe had a few chances, and he had one that I think was going in for sure, and someone just got a piece of it that would have made it 2-1. And he had some other chances where he just didn't connect. But it just seemed to me watching it that Spain was just better. And this kind of seemed, I mean, Spain is what? They've conceded one goal, I think, in the entire I think this is I know that like defense wins championships is a cliche, and it's often not true, or it's often not totally true. This seemed to me like the gritty, tough defensive team just being the better of getting the better of the fancy, offensively prolific team. A little bit,
yeah,
a little bit of that. So that's my excellent soccer analysis. But yeah, I just thought they were better, and it seems like everybody else who analyzed the games, same thing. Spain was just, they really controlled the game. So shout out to Spain. And yeah, I mean, I kind of was thinking, like a France-England thing would have been kind of fun, but
could have reignited some old tension there,
Yeah, exactly. There's history. There's definitely history there. But Spain might just win this whole thing, man.
They sure might. Ian, our France pick, just out the door yesterday immediately after we made it. Yeah,
Spain looks pretty good. They play a pretty good complete team game, and they have a couple of good strikers there. Apparently, Spain has a good record against France. I think from what I saw or what they were saying, or I can't remember if it was the broadcast or if I was reading it.
They're in their heads.
Yeah, they've won 2 or 3 straight now against France or something like that. So maybe we should have looked more into that, into the
history.
Yeah,
the history there.
But I mean, Spain looks good. They looked better than I thought. I mean, I was surprised that France wasn't really able to do much at all.
Yeah, their star is it Lamar?
Yamal.
Yeah. I mean, he's dangerous. He had a goal. It was a ridiculous goal. He was offside. I still don't know that. I swear sometimes I look at these, I'm like, really? You sure that was offsides? But he is dangerous. And also he and Mbappe had some in the second half, had some encounters, and he actually was being pretty physical with Mbappe.
We should have known. I mean, yesterday, I just looked this up. Every summer there's the running of the bulls in Spain.
Right.
Well, it ended yesterday. I mean, the last day of it was yesterday for the summer. So we should have known that, the last day of the running of the bulls, France had no chance out there.
Wow.
That's a heck of a day. Everybody in the country's on edge a little bit.
That is a heck of a day. And they showed Madrid, obviously with all these, like they'll go to the countries that are playing, and it's always like this awesome scene of like these people outside, whatever. But I had no idea they also were
apparently
done being gored by bulls too. So that's a day to celebrate.
Every July the 7th through the 14th, it's just running the bulls. So yesterday's the last day. They closed it out.
Well, that's
a lot of bull running.
That is that's a lot of bull running. Speaking of Charles Robinson, he's done that before.
Has he really?
He has.
Has he been?
He I don't think he got gored.
That's good.
Yeah, but he's not exactly like fast, so I think he kind of lucked out.
I mean, there's a lot of wildlife stuff going on out there right now. I mean, the dude in Yellowstone got sent packing by the bison or whatever that was.
Is he okay, by the way?
I'm pretty sure he's in the hospital. I think he broke his leg.
From what I read, he's supposed to recover.
Yeah.
Just broke his leg.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
he-
didn't
he
see
got
specific
thrown
injuries.
like 20 feet in the air.
Yeah, now that I know he's going to be okay, it becomes way more funny.
Yeah, that is one of those clips that's like we can all have fun with it now because he didn't die as he should have as you watch it, right? I mean, yeah, it's one of those things like, I guess we can't really have too much fun with this because the guy died a grisly death. No, just broke his leg. I mean, if anybody hasn't seen that, who's listening right now, it will not
Yeah.
be. If you have any sort of internet
Oh, you'll find it soon.
capability,
Yeah.
you won't have a hard time finding it. My God.
Would you
I'm-
participate in running with the Bulls?
No.
Yeah, see, I think it'd be my luck to just catch the wrong end of the bull there and not only get gored, but get like trampled or something by this thing.
Yeah. No, like the stuff like that, it's just like it's a cool tradition and everything. And I'm fine like watching the video of other
Oh, yeah.
people doing it. But
Like two of my
hell no.
favorite European sporting traditions are the running of the bulls. And you know how every year they do that cheese roll down the hill in England, and these
Oh,
idiots just go chasing after the cheese.
cheese rolling. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's a beautiful thing.
It's like, wow, that guy just did about 18 somersaults involuntarily. He landed on his back.
That's another thing. Like, it's not quite running from bulls, but like, I would never do that.
Oh, I think I'd rather run from the bulls than run down that hill and chase that cheese block.
That hill is nasty, man. These people are just
That's
they're
the craziest thing
They're
I've ever
rolling
seen.
so much they're bouncing in the
Face
air
plant.
like the pieces of cheese.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's got to be multiple broken bones every year when people start chasing that cheese roll down the hill.
I mean, there have to be deaths,
I
right?
mean, there may be.
Right? Am I
It's just
wrong?
undercovered. It's like, don't write about the deaths out there. It'd be fine.
They're covering up cheese rolling deaths. I'm certain of it.
So we covered lightning strike, cheese rolling, running of the bulls, and soccer in that first segment. Could be a good show today. 615-737-1025, our phone number. Paul Kuharsky from paulkuharsky.com will be with us later in the program. We will get into all things Tennessee Titans with him. Looking forward to that. Taking your thoughts in the meantime at 615-737-1025. Crazy stuff coming out of the University of Michigan. We talked about it a little bit yesterday with Ralph Russo. We'll get into it coming up next. Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game. Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game. Taking your thoughts at 615-737-1025. We have people sending in gifts of the dude in Yellowstone getting launched in the air on the text line. We appreciate that. Dylan Antioch says, I ran with the Bulls in Spain in 2012. It was incredible. Didn't get Gore to run over, but saw some people get hurt, mostly Spanish and Australian people. Australians are crazy. They showed up in flip-flops. You're going to run from the Bulls, you better have some tennis shoes on, man.
I
Might have to maneuver around a little bit.
That blows my mind. I responded to him. I said, holy crap, that's dumb. And he said, yeah, I was 22. Haha. I'm not saying you're dumb. That's fine. You, thrill seekers, go ahead. I'm just not going to do it. But flip-flops?
That's a bold move.
Lace
guess,
them up, mate.
I guess if you're from Australia, you look at it and you say, I mean, a bull, whatever. We got all these animals and things down in Australia that just kill you at every turn. What's a bull? It'd be fine. Maybe they're a little bit more seasoned, you know?
Well, I think of Australia and I think of, nice koala bears and
see, I think a spider's the size of that TV.
Little kangaroos. Yeah, that's true. They do have some other stuff to do. They have crocodiles in Australia?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's scary. Okay. Probably some terrible snakes too.
I think just about every terrible snake you can imagine lives in Australia.
That's a good point. And the toilet water goes the other way too, which is kind of weird. Because Southern Hemisphere. Jess on the YouTube chat was asking what to Google. So just Google Yellowstone bison attack if you're listening. Don't do it while you're driving, and you have never seen this. I was actually kind of blown away that someone hasn't seen this yet. But Jess, I hope you're seeing it now. My God,
you'll never unsee it after it happens.
I mean, again, really glad that this guy's okay. Were they messing with the bison?
I don't think so.
Because I saw,
for the video I saw, I don't know that they were messing.
They're just
with
kind of walking by.
Yeah, and then they decided to run away. It didn't work.
And just like running in a circle, I'm like, can't you get like real close to a tree or something?
I didn't see the whole video, but from what I read, he was a good distance away.
Yeah, that thing just took off running.
And I guess
you need to watch the video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at one point, I guess a truck moved and it set it off. And yeah.
That's a tough one.
Yeah. You don't want to mess with.
Glad he's okay though.
Yeah, that's
or at least he's gonna be okay.
Actually incredible. Yeah. I'm glad that the bison was done after one big pancake flip up in the air. You know?
Same.
Yeah. Didn't want to keep playing with him.
Like, wow, he went really high. I'm gonna leave him alone the rest of the time. So Joe, we talked about this a little bit yesterday with Ralph Russo from The Athletic. Yeah, it is a very interesting time at the University of Michigan right now. So in the last few weeks, Joe, you've had your basketball coach who just won a national championship leave to go to the NBA. There's the investigation going on with Sharon Moore and everything that happened there with the inappropriate relationship with a staff member. You've got the AD potentially in trouble, who a lot of people think he's going to get fired, and he's yelling back about, hey, you guys are idiots. I'm not getting fired, all this other stuff. It's as Russo said yesterday, Joe, it's kind of an amazing last 4 or 5 years from Michigan from the standpoint of like pretty high levels of accomplishment that's happened when it comes to like a national championship in football and basketball. And then you've got scandal after scandal attached to it as well. I mean, we didn't even bring up the Connor Stallion stuff in that discussion. There's a whole lot of stuff going on out there. So what do you make of all this? What do you make of kind of the latest twists and turn of what all's going on at the University of Michigan and kind of that back and forth of how much success they've had in the last 5 years and how much of it's been marred with scandal after scandal?
It, like, in some ways you could look at this and say, like, is there a dirtier like athletic department?
Right.
I mean, and again, some of this is, so there's a lot of new revelations in terms of what was known. One thing that's crazy here, and the Wall Street Journal had kind of an explosive report yesterday about, Ward Manuel, the AD, who is telling people, no, I'm fine. I'm not going to be fired. There's a handwritten note from him 2 days before Sharon Moore's first game telling him that she's not, that the staff are paid shivers, is not allowed to accompany him on road trips. Yeah. Okay. So there's information that suggests that he knew about this Jenner and Block, this is the $11 million, by the way, this is according to the Wall Street Journal, $11 million investigation. $11 million. They determined that their relationship started on a recruiting trip going back to 2022. There's a lot of stuff out there about players knowing about it and trying to use it against them in terms of playing times, all this stuff, okay? Meanwhile, by the way, when this stuff all came out, Ward Manuel said he was blindsided by it, a few months ago. It's like the amount of dishonesty just in this thing, is now coming to light. And we, being Austin Meek and Bruce Feldman, also have some new reporting on when things were known, and it's just it's a bad situation. But this is, like you said, this is one thing. They also, there's the whole Connor Stallions thing, which there's other reporting on that now about the president knowing about that and them trying to sweep that under the rug, which is also part of this investigation.
Yeah.
Like essentially everyone knowing about it. Well, again, everyone, I say the president. By the way, all this stuff is like, if anybody's sitting here still trying to say like Jim Harbaugh, no idea. Jim Harbaugh, who gave Connor Stallions the game ball at Iowa. No idea. No idea about any of this stuff. But then you also have Matt Weiss, the staffer who was like spying on young women that's a totally separate thing. And look, that's one person's terrible misconduct, but the whole combination of all this stuff, I can't remember anything quite like this. And when you talk about dirty programs, it's like over history for the most part, that's meant like paying players, It's hard to compare some of these things, but I just can't remember a place that had more things built up. But then, like you said, by the way, there's a football national. Now, the football national title, you could say certainly that's tied to some of the cheating, and is tainted in the views of probably most people who aren't Michigan fans. But like they also just had a basketball championship, which that's not tainted.
Yeah.
I mean. Not as far as I know. So it's like if you're a college sports fan, I'm guessing most people would probably take this, right? Like you'd probably, like as a Tennessee fan, if Tennessee just became this type of stuff was going on at Tennessee, embarrassments, people getting fired, people lying. I mean, they're not even they're trying to like do this verbally so people can't use open records laws to get the information, which is like, that's basically like you're a freaking crime organization. Yeah. Okay. You're a public university conducting yourself like a crime organization. It's like Joe Pesci and, they're like, okay, let's talk like this. Put my hand over my mouth so like the bugs they can't see us. Cause I know the feds are watching us. Like, seriously, you are conducting yourself like you're in the mafia. But they won championships. If you're a fan of if you're listening out there, Tennessee fan, Alabama fan, whatever, would you take this?
If you're being honest with yourself, probably.
I think you're probably right.
The Ward Manuel part of this is what's most interesting to me, just because, so he was hired in January of 2016 to be their AD. Think about everything that's happened there since then. I guess he didn't technically hire Jim Harbaugh, but he was there basically the whole time where Jim Harbaugh was the head coach. And forever you can't beat Ohio State. And then you just start rolling off win after win over Ohio State. You finally win a national championship in football. You win a national championship in basketball this past year. But it's just been marred by scandal after scandal left and right. And it's all under your tenure, too. It's the most amazing thing. It's all while you've been the AD here, which – again, you're hard pressed to convince me at the end of this, based on everything that's happening right now, that he's not going to get fired and it's not going to be over with him. He seems to think otherwise, and I understand there's been a lot of success in that athletic department, but it is truly, when you look at this last 10 years of his tenure, it's pretty wild, everything that's happened.
Well, it's also Juwan Howard, one trying to fight the Wisconsin coach after a game, but then also whatever happened with him and their strength coach, like there's just all this stuff. You also have this lawsuit from Chris Partridge. When all this went down, he was assistant coach on the staff. He basically was the fall guy, right? He got fired and everybody's like, oh, so that's the guy. Now, clearly he worked closely with Stallions, but he has sued them. And he, according to his lawsuit, and this is, I think Trey Wallace had this first online, if I'm correct here, but he definitely had it online among other people. But so Michigan got into the Matt Weiss I mentioned, the guy who was spying on like women athletes and stuff, like a freaking creep. Found the evidence of the cheating and the whole thing with what Connor Stans was doing, and then, so they hired a private law firm to bury it. Again, that's according to get rid of it. So they knew about it way in advance. Again, according to this lawsuit, did everything they could to try to bury it. You got your president out there, tweeting like bet, like before the Penn State game, like everybody else, like, and everybody acting like, this is all like they just found out about it and it's all new. I mean, it's just, look, these are huge organizations, these are big corporations, it's a public university, but like, it's just like the hiding of information, the dishonesty, and I don't think that Michigan necessarily, like, how many other places would conduct themselves differently? I mean, I think some people would, I think Ward Manuel seems to be someone who just lets a lot of things go on, right? And there's probably people who would conduct themselves differently. I mean, I think a lot of stuff like this, you'd probably see similar types of, if it happened at a school, you'd probably see, similar types of things. But I think the person who really go through everything, we haven't even talked about all the other stuff that got Harbaugh, NCAA violations. He's the one who kind of set the whole culture of like, we don't give a crap about rules.
And now he's coaching the Chargers. 615-737-1025 is our phone number. A lot of stuff going on at the University of Michigan. Where do they rank among the dirtiest programs ever? We'll get into that coming up next. Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game. This Sunday, 102.5 The Game will have live coverage of the Borchetta Bourbon Music City Grand Prix race at the Nashville Super Speedway. Coverage beginning at 5 o'clock and is brought to you by Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical and Big Shots in downtown Nashville. Taking your thoughts at 615-737-1025, reacting to scandal after scandal coming out of the Michigan athletic program. We'll see if AD Ward Manuel survives or if he is the latest casualty to come out of Michigan there. Taking your thoughts on that, 615-737-1025. I mean, Joe, you brought it up. It's interesting to think about because I'm with you. I'm not sure anything quite like this has ever happened. It's kind of its own unique storyline in terms of the way that it's played out. But when you factor in all this stuff, like, I mean, we've seen dirty programs, dirty athletic departments in the history of college sports here. This one does feel a little different in terms of just the way that it's played out. So we're in the aftermath of all this, as more information continues to come out here. What do you think this does for like Michigan's reputation? What do you think this does in terms of how people view them as a program moving forward? All those things.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think we're years past the. I still sometimes see people. Well, like Jim Rome just did this like last week, like the Michigan man. It's like I think that's been kind of dead, right, for a while. Like and honestly, I think that anybody probably like in the Big Ten country, I think that's kind of been a joke for a long time anyway. I mean, again, just in terms of they're a football factor. I mean, they haven't been different than other people forever. That's this idea of like a higher academic standard. It's a good school. You know, they have high standards at the school. People arguing that well, we lost that recruit to Ohio State because, we're Michigan and we have – yeah, okay, dude. Like that stuff died, I think, in probably the 60s or something. So, so like so people at Michigan may have still wanted to like push that narrative, but I don't think most people bought it. I think we're certainly with all this stuff. Anybody who still bought it, you wake up to the reality. But there's a difference between you're kind of like everybody else. It's a huge it's about winning. You're doing whatever you can to win at all costs. I mean, that's true across the board. There's a difference between that and then again some of this specific stuff.
Yeah,
like I mean the Houston. I can't think of another in college sports. There's point shaving stuff, right? And I just can't, other than like the Houston Astros, like what other scandal would be like the Connor Stallions thing? Ubben had a great story during our 90s series about, and I didn't even realize this. I don't remember this at all, but did you see the story yet about the Texas?
Oh, yeah.
Guy who just like a 29-year-old dude changed his name, went to play for a year at Texas, which is like stuff that could happen before the internet and social media were really like big. But
that guy looks a little older out there, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he was just like, he was only good enough to play like on special teams, but still it's good to have a 30-year-old on your roster. But so that alone, the Stallions part of it is just so unique, and I'm sure there's I'm sure I've heard of things of like people. Well, I remember we're talking close to 20 years ago, there was suspicion. And again, I don't even remember what came of this, but there was suspicion that some Notre Dame coaches at games had like an iPad or something like that, which at the time was like illegal, stuff like that. So people are always pushing the envelope and stuff. But the Connor Stallions thing where it's like, let's go get tickets and send a whole crew of people out to these games, film it, and I'm going to put on a fake mustache and go stand on the Michigan State game across the sideline. That stuff is crazy. So set that aside. But then all the other things, I mean, and the list is long. We haven't even gotten into all of it. I don't know. I don't again whatever. You can bring up like UNLV, and those guys were like, Stacey Augmon and Larry Johnson were like in the hot tub with like mobsters or whatever, and Kentucky or whatever. The different scandals over the years where programs went. Kentucky was buried in scandal, But again, it seems so dumb now, right? It's like, oh, they sent, an envelope of money to like Chris Mills.
Yeah, I mean,
oh my God.
most of these scandals have involved like paying players. That's what
Yeah.
it was. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, even like the Reggie Bush stuff. It's like, okay, I mean, in today's day and age, it's like, oh, cool.
Right.
You got some improper benefits. It's
Yeah.
like so did everybody else at the time. I mean, that's what the majority of these scandals have been, is just involved either taking extreme measures to for talent acquisition or paying players. Like SMU, I mean, they got the death penalty with their program, and that's what it was. It was just paying players.
Now it was extensive for them. It was like basically the trustees were like, let's pay him, and Eric Dickerson's got a sweet gold Trans Am, and all that stuff. But yeah, the death penalty, like their program got just smoked, it disappeared for years and it took them forever to come back from that.
And I get it. Now. Like at the time, it's against the rules. So I'm not saying it wasn't a big deal back then, but it is amazing now where we are with everything so out in the open in college sports to think about. I mean, when you think about quote unquote scandals that have taken place in college athletics, that's what most of them have revolved around.
They all sound dumb now.
Yeah.
Michigan State, if you go back to the 70s, they got a 4-year probation, and like Woody Hayes was like turned them in, and it was like a booster, like some players like you used a booster's credit card for like some purchases, like it was like tiny stuff. They couldn't be on like TV for 4 years, like couldn't have any games on TV. Like think about that now. I mean, obviously that wouldn't even be a part of a punishment now because there's way too much money involved, but. I mean, it's stuff like that. Someone brought up Louisville. That is different.
That's a little different.
That is different. And that was obviously, like the strippers thing, but then also Pitino and his own weird stuff. And, were you playing 9-ball? You playing 8-ball? What are we doing here?
That's a little bit, it's a little more comparable. Yeah.
Yeah. Like that was definitely, and that's a vacated title. I still talk about it like they won the national championship, but that's a vacated title for Louisville. And Rick Pitino had to go. Where was he coaching? Was he coaching overseas for a while? And
I think he was. Yeah,
we're a couple of years away from Rick Pitino being the Kentucky coach again. So
exactly.
Baylor would be. No one's brought that up, but the Baylor stuff was really bad. And that was, again, when you're interfering with investigations and trying to talk to, alleged victims. And that's why Art Browse, most people, Rick Pitino ends up cycling back in, right? Most people resurface. Art Browse won't.
Yep.
So I guess in a way that one is also on its own level.
Yep. I mean, Tennessee, a little dirty at one point. I mean, Bruce Pearl had the barbecue and then lied about it, Lied about it to investigators.
Yeah, right.
It's
like that's I mean, that seems so dumb, right?
Bruce, how many recruits did you have at your house? None. I don't know what you're talking about. We didn't do anything. I was just walking down the street, and they just happened to be there.
Who's Aaron Kraft? I've never heard of that guy.
What flavor barbecue was it, Bruce? I don't know. We didn't. I didn't know. I'm not the one that went to the store. I have no idea.
Now, see, with something like that, it's. Sometimes it's like it's a little bit like Al Capone, right? It's like, well, they got Capone on tax evasion,
right?
It may have been an indication of things going on, a little bit more, but they got him on the tax evasion. Yeah.
How long did you smoke those ribs, Bruce?
Is that Carolina sauce? What are we doing here, Bruce? Texter says, wasn't the issue with SMU that they got caught cheating? Yeah, and they continued to do it. They did. And also, again, there was something in it that was like, if you want to get David Beauclair going, like he covered that stuff.
Yeah.
But like it was basically like, yes, they did continue to do it. And also seriously, the trustees were, I mean, it was like an actual top down conspiracy, which again, with this Michigan thing, with the president at the time, that's the thing. If you read all this stuff, it's it appears, and based on reporting now, and there's going to be a lot more that comes out this week. They knew across the board for years about this stuff and let it go on, or were trying to bury it. And it's just I don't know, man. It's pretty extreme. Yeah, I mean, just the again behaving like you are criminals.
615-737-1025 is our phone number. More your reaction to the Michigan scandal coming up next to get to. Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game. Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game, taking your thoughts on the Michigan scandal and college athletics in general. Ethan on the YouTube chat says, hey, remember Bobby Petrino and the motorcycle? I do.
That's
Quite a photo.
Yeah, that's a great one. And that's a great one. But that's a good example of something other than just like paying players stuff. And that was quite a cover up. Jared from Spring Hill talking about, he's like, don't forget Michigan State had the scandal. Talking about Larry Nassar.
Yeah.
Larry Nassar was a horrific scandal. I mean, there's, it's a long story. Believe me, I know that story inside and out. Yeah, that's another thing that, I mean, Michigan State, Penn State, Michigan, and Ohio State all have like these stories of like a doctor of some kind who abused that position to sexually assault people, which is just horrific. So that's, but that and that I think is like kind of part of a bigger story about that, right? About people who find these positions of power. And but I'm not even, like those are I think in all those cases, I think there's a lot of ignorance that was involved in them, and a lot of people, like, once you found out, it's like, some of that was like people not being able to wrap their heads around that stuff. I mean, you talk about like Jerry Sandusky and obviously Joe Paterno's legacy completely changed. I also, those are complicated stories, awful stories. But I even set those aside from like college sports scandal. That's like that's criminal stuff to me. That's like Penn State got, football sanctions in the Sandusky. I remember at the time I was like, I feel like this is like trivializing what happened to these kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh, well, you're going to lose some scholarships. It's like I want people in prison for this, But anyway, yeah, someone bringing up Bishop Sycamore too. That's that's an interesting one.
Geez, look at these guys. Oh wait, the school doesn't exist. Wow, it's a made up school.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to talk about,
I forgot about that one.
Yeah, and again, there's we mentioned Baylor, and again, I think that's because the coach got involved. That also, you had the Dave Bliss murder thing at Baylor too. By the way, they've had a couple that are, terrible. You also had the Vanderbilt rape case, which again to me is again one of those. I separate that as that's a serious criminal situation, as opposed to like when I think we're talking more about like schools sweeping things under the rug, schools cheating in some way, I guess a tick less serious in that stuff.
Will from Bellevue says there's no doubt that Michigan's arrogance has led to them to trade honor for athletic success. From top to bottom, they're all complicit. U of M is clearly the most corrupt college program in college athletics. This from Will from Bellevue. I mean, right now they are. I mean, there's nothing else that really compares to this at the moment.
Yeah, no, it's a really strange situation in terms of like this guy, Ward Manuel, being in charge of all this stuff. But and just all the different things that were going on.
Yep.
I mean, he said this in an interview this week, and he was talking about Matt Weiss. Again, Matt Weiss is a guy with the creepy, spying on women on campus. And he basically said, to paraphrase, like, well, I can't get inside like people's heads. Right. And I mean, yeah, like on an individual situation, I mean, that's fair. As soon as you find out something, you fire someone, what else are you supposed to do? It's just the fact that all these things are happening together. It's like, what does that mean? And again, I think the biggest, like, if you look at all the different things that have happened there, the one common denominator is that Jim Harbaugh basically told everybody he doesn't give a crap about rules. I mean, that is undeniable. And of course he's still trying to say he didn't know this or that or whatever. I mean, but I think he is probably more culpable in all this than people want to believe. Whereas Ward Manuel is the guy who's going to end up paying for it this week, I think. Or maybe not.
He doesn't seem to think so, but yeah, I think so too.
I think that he is publicly negotiating, the buyout.
Yeah.
I mean, right? Like, I just have to believe that. There's no way he doesn't realize.
Well,
that,
and also,
right?
like, the Harbaugh stuff is it's almost laughable because he said that multiple times. I have no idea what's going on about this stuff. And it's like, and I think we talked about this while all the Connor Stallion stuff was going on. It's like, well, either that's true and you are like the most non-connected head coach of all time with what's going on with your staff, or you're just a liar. Like, either one of those things is bad when it comes to Harbaugh. And people just seem to forget that. And they're like, well, I guess he's out of there now. He's just living his best life and coaching in the NFL.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you're a good coach, you can get out ahead of the cavalry and go to the NFL, and there you go. I mean, he had been trying to get out of there, and he couldn't get a couple NFL jobs, but you win a championship. All of a sudden, it's like, okay, it all worked out for him. It'll work out fine for him. Jason Goodsville's talking about Vandy steroid scandal in the 80s. I'm not familiar with this. I will say that, well, speaking of Michigan State, Tony Mandarich There's a lot of anabolic steroid
yeah.
stuff going on in college football in the 80s, but I don't remember specifically the Vandy scandal.
I mean, before I was alive, so I couldn't tell you.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I mean,
Well, so was
it
World
does-
War II, but we know things about that.
That's true. We do. I watched documentaries about that too.
There's no
That's how you know you're
documentaries
officially
on
an
the
old
Vandy
man.
steroid
It's
scandal.
like, oh yeah, World War II doc. Let's do it. Let's do it out there.
Hell yes.
It's funny when you look at like all these scandals too. Again, like I mentioned the Reggie Bush stuff. Like going back and looking at that now, it's objectively hilarious. You're like, oh, okay, Reggie Bush. Our man Charles Robinson, directly responsible for some of that stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, I remember at the time what a huge deal that was. And I think about like if something like that happened. Like, look, we've talked about this with Alabama before, right? Like, you know, Saban never got busted for anything. Saban never got caught for anything. I mean, there's never any like direct link of money of like Saban handing out money to people like Jeremy Pruitt and the McDonald's bags and all the stuff that Dan Patrick threw out there. But like you're looking around and like, oh, so Trent Richardson's driving like this $85,000 car. I wonder where that came from as a freshman in college. Like that's been going on in college sports for a long time.
Absolutely.
Long time.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to, are you sloppy or not? You know, do you have your house in order? So again, I mean, it is crime family like. If you're a coach of these programs,
Yep.
it's so. I mean, again, over the years, if you were one of the top programs getting these 5 stars, winning these recruiting battles at the last second, there was probably some of that going on. You have to make sure there's buffers so you're never directly involved. You know, the boosters and certain assistants deal with all that stuff, and you don't ever. Or you could be Jeremy Pruitt and just, you know, whatever the heck he had going on there, you know, at Knoxville. I mean, that was one of the sloppiest operations I've ever heard of.
I mean, you got Kirby right now at Georgia, you know, operating, you know, trying to film Fast and the Furious 11 down there with what they're doing, the street racing and all that in Georgia. It's like, wow, look at there. There's another Georgia football player arrested for speeding. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's its own thing too. Like the moving violation culture at Georgia. By the way, I Googled this. 1985, Vanderbilt rocked by a massive steroid scandal involving the school's strength coach, E.J. Doc Crease. They called it Doc's Body Shop. Conspired with a Nashville pharmacist to illegally distribute approximately 97,000 doses of muscle-building steroids. This is the L.A. Times. I had no idea. We've uncovered a 1980s scandal of Vanderbilt.
So they win anything?
That's the thing. I don't know that it helped a lot.
Let's head back to the phone line, driven by WilsonCountyHyundai.com. Welcome in Tim to the program. Tim, good morning. Thank you for calling in.
And to answer your question, no, it didn't help us win anything.
Because that's the thing. Everybody
the
was
other
doing
thing I was gonna
steroids
say-
then.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know. I will tell you what it did do. We had a defensive lineman out of out of Chattanooga that we signed. He weighed 190 pounds, and going into his sophomore year, he was 290.
Good grief.
Pretty good.
Golly.
So, and it was Doc Crease. I mean, I remember it. I don't remember what all happened to us, and I can't even remember. I think maybe McIntyre was the coach, but it was one of them deals when you first heard about it, and then you heard the enormity about it. I mean, 97,000 doses of steroids.
Jeez.
That's giving a lot of shots.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Tim. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks.
That's wild.
Yeah. No, that's I'm looking at this. So this was like George McIntyre was the coach, and then this was around the time that then I guess he was fired and Watson Brown came in. So
My guy.
all right. Yeah. So there you go. I guess Watson Brown came in to clean it up.
Yeah. If you want to clean something up, you call Watson Brown in. That's what you do.
There you go.
615-737-1025. Our phone number 615-737-1025. We will switch gears. Get into the Preds coming up next. Not a ton of movement with the roster so far this offseason when it comes to established players. If this is what the squad looks like when camp opens up, what do we think? How good are they going to be? What do fans think? We'll get into that. Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. Hour number 2, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. Robbie Stanley, Joe Rexrode, Ian Safar here with you on this Wednesday morning. Presented by Green Ventures Landscaping, outdoor patios, landscaping design, lawn maintenance, and more. Visit greenventureslandscaping.com. Live from our Busy Bee Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning Game Nashville studios. Home of the $99 yearly Beehive membership, where the buzz is always about great service. Paul Kuharsky from paulkuharsky.com will be with us in the second half of the program today. We will get into all things Tennessee Titans with PK, with training camp just a couple weeks out. Rexrode missed PK last week, so it's a couple weeks overdue now.
Yep, I need some soccer takes from him quickly. Meanwhile, I'm just going down the rabbit hole of this Vanderbilt steroid scandal. It's pretty wild, man.
Is it coming up next at the Athletic? We're going to do a deep dive.
Maybe retrospective.
Yeah.
You got the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation was in there.
Sure.
These guys were indicted on conspiracy counts. Then AD was Roy Kramer. He immediately instituted mandatory random steroid testing for all athletes at Vanderbilt. Like it's a big deal. I did not know about this.
Me either.
And I was alive, but I was a child, not living here.
Well, I can't wait for the retrospective at the Athletic. Now you have to write it.
Let's see. Yeah, see, missed the 40-year thing because it was 85. So it's going to have to be in 2035, the 50-year anniversary. Look for that in 2035.
All right, we'll be on the lookout for
There
it.
you
You know, Keith says, Joe, I got to tell you that my kids and I still shout another biscuit in the car every morning. How many years now? And it's taken on a new meaning. It now means to us a new day.
Nice. That's really nice.
You know,
That's
what this program's for.
That's right. We're trying to
Uniting
make memories.
families.
Yeah, trying to make memories for parents and the kids. Was that about Tavondre Sweat? Was that another biscuit?
I don't remember what that was about.
I
think this was it was pre Tavondre Sweat.
Was it pre-Tavondre? Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe not.
I don't know. Right now, it's hard
I know
to go back and look.
I know Chase took it away for about 3 days one time.
Yeah.
To kind of redo the open, and people were not happy, so we had to put it back.
I know, but plus I still wish I got a Ghost Rider on second. I wish we could get that back. Oh well, can't have it all.
We'll see. We got struck by lightning last night, so we got more power.
Yes, we did.
A lot of power around here right now.
How's the stuff going in there, Ian? Anything working more now?
We're on the air.
Yeah,
It's good.
right.
That's really all that matters. We're on the air,
making it work.
We'll we'll be a little. Yeah, I'm not sure we'll have a new rant today, or a rant open at all. But
does that mean no rant?
Oh, we got a rant.
I don't think we should have a rant if we can't have the Ian.
Yeah, I don't think
he's the best part of the rant.
I don't think I'll have an open today. Kuharsky might not have his song. I'll have to work on that.
Okay.
But yeah, maybe I can get Kuharsky's song ready. The rant, probably not so much.
Probably not so much. All right.
Yeah, it's a lightning strike, man. It
is.
It happens.
It is. All right. So you've got the Predators that have been relatively active this offseason. I mean, you add Maverick Bork to the mix. They've made some moves to bring in some former Avs that have been out there. They've kind of reshaped the bottom 6 part of their roster. And then I think Maverick Bork is probably going to slide into the top 6, at least to start. And we'll see what that looks like. But not a ton of movement in terms of Jonathan Marceau's still on the team. These veteran players that we've talked about are still on the team. And I would still anticipate, based on some of the comments that Chris McFarland had in the aftermath of free agency, that there's going to be probably a couple more things that happen. I mean, clearly, if you listen to what he had to say, he feels like there's some work left to be done defensively right now with this team. So I don't think that this is going to be the finished product of what we see. You'll probably see another move made on defense at some point here, if I had to guess. And I have no idea about Marchessault. Maybe that happens at some point too. Maybe it doesn't. Maybe you get into next season and you start worrying about some of this stuff. But by and large, this is probably, the majority of what their team is going to look like. We're past kind of that opening wave of free agency. Wasn't a great wave of free agency anyway. It feels like a lot of the moves in the NHL have calmed down for the most part. And we'll see what that looks like as time goes on here, and if there are any other big moves that could happen. But that's a long way of setting it up, Joe, of what do you make of this squad? Like if this is what it is and they break training camp and this is the team, well, what kind of team is that? How does the fan base react to it? What does it mean for Andrew Burnett? Like, how do you feel about all that heading into this?
Yeah. I feel like, one, obviously the Bort move is like, that's like, there's at least, you've got someone that you hope is going to be a key part of the team for years ahead, and so there's that. I think a big part of this is, and it's certainly possible. I mean, I guess probably likely that Brady Martin probably
My guess is he starts in Milwaukee.
So if that's the case, which again is totally reasonable, but if that's the case, along with like if they don't move out March or so, and basically everything kind of being the same, yeah, I have to think that the excitement level for fans is muted with that. Now, if Martin were part of the team, I think again, and I'm not suggesting at all that you make such decisions because of what fans feel about it, but I'm just saying, I think most people, a lot of people, I would include myself, thought there'd be more done in terms of maybe getting some guys. Again, March is so in particular, and I have to think there have been attempts, right? I have to think there have been conversations, and it doesn't mean you're always going to be able to figure it out.
Well, and I think probably not just him. My guess is there are people that have, and Elliot Friedman's kind of talked about this too. I mean, people have called about O'Reilly and Stamkos, and I think people have probably called about Yossi just to kind of get a check and see what's going on. And nothing's happened on that front. Doesn't mean nothing will happen, but I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong if you're Chris McFarland for seeing how next year kind of starts and then pivoting from there. Like you don't have to get everything done by August if you're Chris McFarland. Now, the March or so thing is interesting because I still think with him specifically, it would behoove basically everyone involved to just go ahead and move that. And maybe they just haven't been able to do it, right? My guess is, and I don't know this, but my guess is they've probably tried and it just hasn't worked yet. And that doesn't mean it won't work at some point, but at this point, it just hasn't worked. So that part of it is going to be interesting. Like, the Brady Martin part of this, like I'm looking at their roster right now, there's not a ton of spots, right? Like they've got a bunch of guys that they've added to the bottom six here. So, I mean, technically you could still have you could have a top six spot for him if you wanted to downshift somebody in the lineup and he could play there either at center or on the wing. But I'm just looking at the roster that is currently constructed. There's not really a spot for Brady Martin. So if he goes into camp and he lights it up, you can make a spot for him, right? So it's not like he can't make the team, but it kind of signals to me that based on the way that they've constructed their roster this offseason, that McFarland maybe wants to get a little bit of a look at these guys playing in bigger roles somewhere, and then he'll make decisions on who's ready and who's not.
Yeah.
Now, what's going to be interesting is, all right, well, what does that mean for guys like Kimmel? Because to me, we're reaching the point with him where you need to see it. Like it's time to see it. And if you don't see it, he's probably not going to be here. Like we've already seen McFarland come in and look at Svechkov and LaRue and say, you're out. Like, I don't think Kimmel's that far behind if he doesn't show something pretty soon.
Yeah. So then what's the opportunity level for him? That's tricky. And look, I think it makes sense. McFarland's in this for the long haul. You weren't gonna fix everything. You don't have to completely gut everything. There's no way you were gonna do anything to make this like a contending team. You have to deal with what you have, and you have to do it methodically and carefully and all that. And I think that's great. I think, probably Preds fans, when you have a new era of any kind, you probably hope it'll be a little more different than this.
I mean, right now, I think what you're most excited to watch if you're a Predators fan is, all right, how good's this Maverick Bourque kid, right? He's an established player now in the NHL. He scored 20 goals, and he did it while there's like 9 forwards in Dallas who are, in bigger roles than his is. So what does that look like here in what you assume is going to be a pretty elevated role? And I think it's going to be based on what McFarland said at center. that probably means Woods back to the wing, at least for now. I don't know how they're going to structure everything, but that to me is probably what you're most excited about in the short term.
Yeah,
If
and
you're
it's
a
great
Predators
to
fan.
have that.
Yeah.
It is. It's absolutely great to have that. And look, I think that I'm trying to sit here and speak for Preds fans, but I know some are like, you know what, I'd like to see Forsberg, Yossi, Stamkos with a little bit of infusion. Again, new era, same coach, but may have a chance to see if they start out a year well, what can that do? What if Saros has a big bounce back here, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, people who pay money for these tickets also still like to watch like competitive hockey and hope to have a team that like is playing for something.
Yep. We'll continue to take your thoughts on the Predators. Plus, something I saw yesterday that I think Predators fans should be excited about. We'll get into that. Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at 1025 The Game for live shows and exclusive content. You can see our beautiful faces on there too, which may be the best part, you know? It's a visual medium.
Oh yeah,
People love watching us. Two good looking dudes on here, you know?
I can't imagine.
Wait till Kuharsky gets in here.
Well, I was gonna say it's like I don't even know. It's like a Victoria's Secret show from the 80s or something, you know. Get Kuharsky in here. Just mesmerizing beauty on the screen.
That's right. Be coming up here in just a few minutes with Kuharsky in on the program. 615-737-1025, our phone number. Talking Preds, one texter says, you know, he had 240 goals scored up front last year. Problem wasn't the scoring. It was the depth of scoring throughout the roster. And I think McFarland's done a good job of replacing that. My biggest question is, why do we bring Barron back? What about the rest of the defense? We got to improve that, right?
A lot of people ask that question about Barron.
A lot of people ask a question about Barron. I'm kind of asking the same question about Barron. I mean, look, it's a 1-year deal for almost no money, so it doesn't really matter, right? Like, it's not like this is some prohibitive thing, but he's just been that bad. So I don't know. We'll see what happens on that front, how much he plays. Again, as far as improving the defense, they have to at some point. And McFarland clearly is eyeing another defenseman. He talked about, you know, finding somebody that can move the puck and be a little bit more of a playmaker. I mean, think about the heyday of, you know, Subban, Ekholm, Ellis, Yossi. And you can throw Weber back in there too back in the day. Like, yes, they were really good defensively, but you know, some of the hallmarks of those guys were they contributed offensively as well, right? Like, I mean, Shea Weber, good Lord, he's probably the best singular power play weapon they've ever had in the history of the franchise. But they just don't have that anymore. Like, outside of Yossi, they're not dangerous at all defensively back there when it comes to adding to the offense. Now, maybe like Ufco's got a little bit of juice to him, I think, that way, and maybe he becomes one of those guys. But other than that, like, Brady Shea, when he signed, was supposed to be a little bit of that. I want to say the year before he signed with the Preds, he had 13 goals on the back end with not a whole lot of power play time in Carolina. So you're like, okay, well, there's a little bit of offensive pop. I mean, he's shown none of that here in Nashville. So outside of Yossi, they just don't have any threats at all back there on defense right now to add to the offense. And that's what I think McFarland is going to try to change as they're looking. And it's a hard thing to find.
Yeah, everybody wants more of that, but yeah, it's not always so simple. You know, Texter says bottom six, faster, younger, better defensively, better at face-offs. Better, you know, that'll help with the system. Still worried about the D. Yeah.
I mean, if you ask me what kind of team they are right now, I would say, I mean, frankly, just kind of what they normally are, which is I think they could be pretty decent. I think depending on if a couple of guys have good years or not, they might get in the playoffs. And if those guys maybe take a step back, then they probably won't get in the playoffs. And then we'll be kind of having that same discussion. What I'm interested in is, regardless of how the year goes, like, how does McFarland react to it? Because, I mean, there's going to have to be, and he's basically said this, I mean, there's going to have to be a roster churn over the next few years if they're ever going to get back to where they're wanting to be. And you got to, I mean, some of that's just going to involve an infusion of these young guys, which, by the way, I mean, Scott Wheeler from The Athletic came out with this yesterday. It's basically his top 100 prospects ranking. So it's about, you know, everybody that's been drafted, and there's a certain window, you know, the cutoff is, you know, there's a certain amount of games that he's looking at. It's got to be under 23 years old. Like, there's some criteria that goes into this, but, you know, there's 100 guys on this list. And by my count, the Predators have, I think, 7 of them. So it would be Wyatt Cullen, Brady Martin, Riker Lee, Matthew Wood, Igor Surin, Cam Reed, and Tommy Blau, who's just their first-round pick. So you're talking 7 guys out of the 100 are on yours. Now, they don't have anybody in the top 25. As a matter of fact, Brady Martin's not even his top-ranked guy. It's Wyatt Cullen at 26. He's got Martin at 35 on this list. But you've got 7 guys in total in his top 100 prospects, which is a pretty healthy number.
Yeah, it's a healthy number. You like that for sure. At this, you take the snapshot right now, and you're like, Porter Martone, number 3, and James Hagens, number 13, and Brady Martin, 35. And, you know, I get it. You're like, man, How much are we going to be talking about that? Yeah, hopefully not much, because Brady Martin's going to work out and he's going to end up being a key player. But at this moment, obviously you could look at that and you could be upset if you want. It's good to have that many guys. As we've talked about so often, you need some of these prospects to really be top guys. Like you said, Kemmel's the next guy. We're like, okay, what is he? They've had a run here of a lot of guys who are good enough to get in the league and not much more. And they need guys who are difference makers.
They need some guys to come in and make an impact. People asking about Molendijk on defense. We'll see. Like, I think it was a tough first year for him as a pro. I mean, there was some injury that he battled through. My guess is he starts the year in Milwaukee, and then we'll see if he can. But he's going to have to. There's going to be a level or two he's going to have to raise his game to before he's up in the NHL, and then we'll see. What that looks like. I mean, look, he's a really good skater. I think that's going to serve him well. He's going to get to the NHL at some point, and then we'll see how good he is. Cam Reed, who I just mentioned, made this list. He might have to be your next offensive guy. We'll see what that looks like. He's still probably a couple years away, though. So a lot of these guys you're probably not going to see for a couple more years on the defense part of it. And that's why, I still think you'll see McFarland go out and look for some of those younger defensemen that move the puck well. And we'll see how well he's able to find that. I mean, we've already seen McFarland. He's not afraid to use draft capital to go get some guys. If you can run across a similar situation with a defenseman that you just ran into with Maverick Bourque, I'd be ready to pounce on that all day if I was Chris McFarland.
A guy who we've talked some about him, but I am intrigued. What do you think is next for Igor Surin?
Well, I think he's got 1 year left on his KHL deal. And so he'll be in the KHL this next year. And I think after that, he's going to be ready to play. I think he's going to be ready to play in the NHL. So my guess is not this season, but the season after, he is in the NHL and he's playing for the Predators.
Willie said on DVD that Surin looks pretty good.
Yeah.
And if he wasn't,
there's some buzz.
If he wasn't going back to the KHL, there's definitely a chance he would make the bottom six.
For people I've talked to, they think he's ready right now. So it's always kind of interesting with the KHL stuff. The contract is just, it's probably not getting out of it. So he's going to play, and it's not a horrible thing for him to play one more year in the KHL.
It's a good league.
It's a good league. Playing against grown men. And I just think the way he plays, too, get him another, maybe a few more pounds on. But he's a pretty big dude already. I think when he's done playing in the KHL, I don't know that you'll see him in Milwaukee. I think he'll just play in the NHL, which is great. That's awesome.
And then a guy who I think is definitely going to be a lot of fun to watch in college hockey, and he's 44 on this list, of course, is Riker Lee.
Oh, yeah.
And
he's probably the most skilled guy.
180, you have those questions, but man, he is he might be an exciting player.
Yeah,
here
I mean, I think he is
in the near future.
Definitely the most skilled prospect they have. Now, that doesn't always equate to best, but I think he's definitely the most skilled. When he makes it to the NHL, he's going to make some plays that just bring you out of your seat. And the question is going to be, all right, well, how good is he defensively? Is he just getting killed out there on the defensive side?
What happens when that space gets taken away?
Yeah, when you're going up against bigger, faster, stronger, less space, all those things. But I have no doubt when he gets to the league, he'll make a few plays every year where you're just like, oh my God, look at that. It's like SportsCenter top 10 level plays. So
I told Brennan, I was like, I know you're getting hoops tickets, but you might want to get
go watch
some
Riker
hockey
Lee
tickets over there, buddy.
It'd be pretty good. 615-737-1025 is our phone number. 615-737-1025. I believe that we will have Kuharsky with us coming up next. I just saw him pull in. We'll welcome PK to the program.
Don't get my head lightning out there.
Robby and Rexrode 1025 the game. Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. Robbie Stanley, Joe Rexrode, Ian Safar, Paul Kuharsky from paulkuharsky.com is with us on the program. PK, happy Wednesday morning to you.
And to you. I have developments on one of our many favorite topics.
Okay.
So I get a text last night from a mutual friend of all of ours about a third party. And the mutual friend says, hey, this third party, the third party I know a little bit. I don't think you guys know him at all.
Okay.
I know who he is.
Okay.
Seems like a good dude.
So yeah, he's a good dude. So the mutual friend says, hey, this third party is exhibiting gout symptoms. Can we have Rexrode's number to work on the diagnosis? So the community out there is looking at Rexrode as kind of a gout screener.
Kind of a beacon of light, you know?
So Joe,
I'm a gout-roo.
Did you get a call or a text? And what is your preliminary diagnosis?
I did. I got a text from our mutual friend. He enjoys weighing in on the text line sometimes, but under a different name. And then they told me sort of the symptoms and stuff. And my diagnosis is that it's not gout. I don't
swelling.
Think, yeah.
I
Well, there's like it sounded like it was more like full foot like swelling and things like that.
Foot and mouth disease, maybe.
I'll let you diagnose. I'm not gonna dip my toe figuratively in that water.
More toe talk.
But yeah, is our guy Rex Ryan listening? Pull over the car, slow down.
He's down in your neck of the woods.
Yeah,
Be careful down there.
That's
At this
right. We
stage-
love our
Foot.
feet
At
in
this
Owensville.
stage, you say no gout.
So yeah, because gout, I can only go with my own experiences, and they're extensive. More like it's uric acid condensing in a spot, and it's almost like they call it an attack, and so it's like one red bump at a joint. For me, it's always on the outside of my left foot. For a lot of people, it's a big toe. Some people get it a knee. This sounded like it was a whole foot thing going on. I'm like, I understand why when you have a whole foot thing, and we talk about gout a lot in this town, you might think about gout, but I don't think it's gout. So, but I would also advise a medical professional.
So this is just for those keeping score out there. This is 2 no gouts in a row. Gout dropped out of a recent race, which was devastating for all involved. And now an associate of a friend or friend of mine, no gout from what we know.
Well, gout
may mean a foot amputation for all we know.
I
or
hope
something
not.
worse.
Hope
than
it's not
gout.
worse than gout.
Gout he's got a hamstring tear. He's out for the whole year.
That's
The
terrible.
whole year?
Yeah, out for the season.
Man, that
Hamstring
sucks.
tear.
That's terrible. I mean, this is like the next big thing, right? I mean, gout is going to
He'll be at
dominate
the Olympics here.
next Olympics.
like could potentially dominate the sport. But torn hamstring,
He's
that's
got to heal from the hamstring, you know.
Yeah. And by the way, that's not a gout symptom that I know of.
No, he's gout doesn't have gout.
Yeah.
That's the iron.
Gout would
Well-
be the last guy to have gout, pretty much.
Well, but
Yeah.
maybe one day he will, and what a day that'll be if that happens. I hope not.
Yeah, but he's years
Way
away
down
from
the road.
that. Years
Way
and a lot
down
of
the
meat
road.
and mead
Yeah.
away from that.
Yeah.
It doesn't
After-
doesn't look like a guy that eats any meat or drinks any meat.
After his
Yeah.
very successful
Career.
sprinting career, maybe the opportunity presents
20
itself.
years from now, he
Yeah.
could be really let himself go. All
Yeah, he'd really, really have to work hard.
right, that's your gout update.
Okay.
Good to know.
So yeah, I hope the foot's okay. Keep me updated, guys.
Yeah,
And
but
thanks
make
for asking me.
it a full text chain.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. If you'd like to weigh in on our text line, driven by WilsonCountyHunter.com, 615-737-1025, we can share it with the people too.
Did you watch France and Spain yesterday, PK?
I watched a good share of France and Spain, and it was tremendous effort by Spain because France had been, I think, by my feeling and by most accounts, the best team in the tournament. Very impressive work by Spain. I have one of my best friends from college, spent his youth in Spain, grew up in Spain probably until through elementary school anyway. Huge Spain fan, and managed to go to that game with his large family.
Nice.
5 of them. Once in a lifetime experience, and had pretty good seats.
Nice.
So something. I'm heavy into England.
You're rooting for England today?
Yeah, stressed a little bit, but I think it's possible. And
Why, Trader?
Well, and it's funny. I've been watching a lot of revolutionary stuff. I don't think there's enough good. And I haven't watched the most recent Ken Burns, which is under. Is Ken Burns do a Revolutionary War thing?
Oh, he did?
I don't know.
I missed
Maybe
that.
he did. I don't think there are like enough movies and enough TV series, but there's now something on Netflix, a 5-part Revolutionary War thing, and now a Washington and a Jefferson thing. So I'm deep into
John
that.
Adams was pretty good.
Yeah, John
Back
Adams was
in the
really
day.
good. Yeah,
I still watch The Patriot
really good.
from 30
Yeah.
years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
But you watch
Nice.
it partly because there aren't enough other ones.
Good old Mel Gibson.
So, but we came to terms and became allies with England after that. I don't know if you missed that chapter. in
Sure.
the story.
We're cool. Yeah.
Well, another war in between, but yeah.
Yeah, but once we established our
Yeah,
dominance,
the War of 1812 was a thing too. That was. Did you miss that one?
once we established
Yeah.
our
They
dominance,
burned the White House. You know that
we were
whole
okay
thing?
with
Yeah,
them.
okay.
I've been to London a couple of times.
I think we're good now.
Yeah, we're cool now.
And I know those players, probably the best as a whole out of any other thing. Their current coach, not that I wasn't rooting for him before, but their current coach won Champions League with my club, Chelsea. Reece James is a Chelsea guy on that team. And I buy into their whole saga, bring it home and not having won it since 66 and all of that. It's just a compelling story to me. And more compelling than Argentina, who won it last time.
Yeah.
So
You know what's funny is so you just watch Mad Men, is that right?
yeah,
So we're rewatching it, and we just watched the episode where they're like Lane is back in England and they're celebrating the 66. Like, yes, I'm like, oh yeah, that's the last time England won, 1966.
We're going to wildly switch gears here and get into football. I'm going to test the theory out with both of you. If you had to name the top 4 wide receivers in the NFL, who would they be? Top 4.
Justin Jefferson, Puka Nacua. A top 4 based on what? Just on feel?
Just on field.
Yeah, who do you think is the best? I'm with you there. Jamar Chase, right? I mean, you have to have Jamar Chase in the top 4.
Jamar Chase. Yeah.
Amon-Ra St. Brown is my 4th.
Okay.
I'll go with those 4.
Okay. I would add Jackson Smith and Jigba. But
Yeah. He's there now.
so those guys,
He was offensive
he's
player of the
awfully
year.
good.
I think those guys, all 5 you just mentioned, are like, to me, pretty clearly the best 5. That's who ESPN has as their top 5. I just don't think that's remotely controversial. Like, I don't know if you're like, I think they got CeeDee Lamb at number 6, whatever. That's fine. George Pickens at number 7. I think the top 5 right
drop-off.
now in the league are set in stone.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's very clear. And how often has that been the case?
Yeah, that's true. With those rankings, how many of them are that non-controversial?
Yeah.
Like with a top 5.
Yeah.
I
right?
think that this like ranking season is Fowler's series.
This is Fowler series. Yes.
Yeah, I think it's become pretty old and stale. I mean, I think it's interesting off season, the month before for a while, but like now, I don't know. Am
They
I
drag it
that
out too
excited
long.
about the quarterback rankings every single
Right.
year and nitpicking? Is this guy better than that guy? I mean, I know we love our lists and everything, and it's part of the rhythm. Or saying those tiers out. I mean, I respect that more than
That's got to be coming soon.
than
Right?
Fowler's thing, and there's at least like he puts it in big historical perspective and all of that, but it's all just fodder for us to talk about and for people to debate where their guy is slotted and everything. But
It's also like
how can you rank Cam Ward right now any differently than you did at the end of last season? There's no new data.
So wait, Cam Ward not getting a top 10 pick does not prove to you that he's a bust?
See, yeah. Exactly.
Someone actually said that out loud.
They did.
Yeah.
Is it the person I think?
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, that tells you all you need to know. Like at one time, he said, "I'm going to cancel my athletic subscription because Sandoz Tears isn't out yet, and I scheduled my week around talking about that."
One thing about these that are eye-opening is how many obviously great players have lowest unranked,
Somebody had Amon-Ra St. Brown unranked. What's
unranked.
wrong with you?
What?
And these, by the way, this is not some writer. Like, these are NFL people.
I also think, I don't know if people realize, you can be one of these NFL people. If your team didn't see the lines last year, I'm not convinced that these pro personnel guys, not all of them, the GM, when the time comes, but if you're not playing Amon-Ra St. Brown, and if Amon-Ra St. Brown is not coming up towards free agency, the necessity that you have a real great handle on Amon-Ra St. Brown beyond catching the back end of Monday Night Football when you get home late on Monday is not that big.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
A general sense of
100%.
him, yes, but like a full scouting handle on him, no.
Well, by the way, Amon-Ra, I mean, that's one thing. Puka Nacua last year had 129 catches for 1,700 yards and 10 touchdowns, and somebody on this thing had him unranked.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like, what
stupid.
are you doing?
Right.
What are we talking about?
Well, that may be somebody dismissing him because of his
Off-field
personal
stuff?
problem.
Yeah, but that's
so like you
stupid, too.
scratch him off your board like
Right.
you would a thing like, well, we wouldn't touch a guy like that. So,
But that's not what they're being asked to do. They're
Yeah, I
they're
know.
just being
but
asked
that's
to
the
evaluate.
kind of thing people do. Some of these evaluation guys who are asked to evaluate just do not have eyes on some of these people.
Well, it's a different thing, but it makes me think of the coaches poll, okay, whoever you play or whoever's in your league, you
Score up.
have or at least you have any concept. Other than that, you have no clue what these other teams
Yeah.
are, what they're doing. It's a waste of time. I would
Right.
hope
if you're looking at pass rushers and you're in the AFC South, Will Anderson is going to, if you love him, you're going to love him more. If somehow you find fault with him, you're going to find more fault with him, and you're going to know him way better than you know some NFC guy that you
Yep.
face every 4 years or maybe in a rotation.
and also you might just have a personal vendetta against somebody and vote
Right.
that way.
Yeah,
There's
there's
also
All
that.
very
There's that
human.
too.
Very human.
615.
Hugely human.
Hugely human.
The Rex Rant with Joe Rexrode coming up next. PK with us the rest of the show. Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. It is that time of the day for the Rex Rant with Joe Rexrode, served by the Wine Cellar in Hendersonville. The lightning storm has totally eviscerated Ian Safar's matchmaking abilities this morning, but we'll get it back.
Yeah, I can't. I don't know. I don't feel the rant, man. Like I need the mashup. I will say that on the TV, as we were talking, I almost got totally derailed because as we were talking last segment, Buster freaking Olney is up there, and it says Buster Olney, Tigers need to be buyers at the deadline. What?
Sure.
Buster? Are you kidding me, Buster?
Lean in, you know?
No.
How are people going to buy Skubal when this medical concern? I don't want the Yankees anywhere near.
I mean, he's pitching every 5 days now. He's
and
pitching
any day, that little thing he had done, that just revolutionary surgery designed to get him a monster contract after he's traded, will break.
But you know someone will pay.
Yeah, and I'm afraid it's going to be my guys.
Yeah. Well, my guys need to sell. I mean, it sucks. I'd love for the Tigers to be great this year, and
They're in it, baby.
But yeah,
Bye.
They're only 6.5 back.
Yeah, but you lose those last two to fill in. It's like, you know what? That's a sign. That's a sign that you've just got to go ahead and you've got to sell. Buster Olney, stop it. Now I was gonna rant about daylight savings time,
But you were confused.
but I was wrong. So I'm actually really happy. I'm really happy I was wrong. I thought that the House passed. So I thought that daylight savings time, I thought it basically we were going to go permanently to more daylight in the early part of the day and left, because it's very depressing, especially around here. Like we're just in a time here with the sun where, like, as you guys know, in the winter it gets dark so early. So the fact that it's actually more daylight later, I'm happy. So I have no rant.
Yeah, well, thank God you figured it out. This is a big problem in America, that people don't understand what daylight is saved. And then the last time this came up big, I was on the radio full time, and people were like, wait, we'll be 2 hours different than Atlanta? We're like, no, you idiots. So people can't get their head around this.
I thought the time zones were changing?
Every time daylight savings comes up in the spring, people are like, I hate daylight savings time. And they're like, no, you love daylight savings time. You don't understand. Listen to the words. It's the thing that gives you more light in the evening. That's what you like.
It saves
and then
daylight.
they bitch about giving up 1 hour of sleep one night, like it's not worth the trade-off. It's so worth the trade-off. And I've always said, look,
What about getting the
school.
hour? What about getting the hour in the fall? You like
That's
that?
nice, but I don't trade it for the darkness. Send kids to school in miners' helmets with flashlights. I'm all in favor of that. You know, it messes with some animals and maybe our brains a little bit and all of that.
Okay.
I'll take all of these side effects because it's too depressing to get home a half an hour after it got dark. I think maybe we should be on Eastern time. I understand it messes with the TV schedule a little bit, but everything's streaming now anyway. And boy, to be on the proper side of the time zone is huge. And no matter what we do, we're on the wrong side of the time zone. Like when I was in Knoxville and it's getting dark at 9.
Yeah.
I mean, that's glorious. But I mean, I do think there are some zones. I was looking at some stuff last night where you're going to have sunrise, you know, in the upper portions of the Western, where you're in
Eastern
the Western
time
part,
zone.
you're in the Western end of a time zone, you're getting sunrise literally at like 10 a.m., which I say, well, don't live in those areas, but
Well,
it's very unfortunate. The farming thing, my old colleague Chad Withrow's father-in-law is a farmer in Nebraska, and he used to say, like, we farm in the daylight. If the daylight moves an hour, we move an hour.
move.
We've got, you know, the 12 hours of daylight we get, or however much, is when we do the farming.
fair. Yeah, no, I was born in the Eastern time zone west of here. So
Right.
my summers in Western Michigan, like we'd play baseball till 10,
Yeah, that's
15.
awesome.
Yeah, it is awesome. And to me, that's worth it. Yeah, I don't care. Wake up in the pitch black, whatever. It's
You
fine.
do it already.
Yeah. I mean, actually, I'm a little bit. It's disconcerting to me when I'm driving to work now, and it's like it's light out. It
I
doesn't
know.
seem right. I don't like this.
But
Move it all back.
I think we need
More
to be-
daylight at night.
let's be candid with ourselves here. The House has passed this, which means there's no chance the Senate's going to pass it. Like we don't get agreement from the two branches of Congress. It's not going to happen.
Are any laws ever passed?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Like,
Is Schoolhouse Rock on here?
Yeah.
and if they were to pass somehow, like it get vetoed, or the Supreme Court would knock it down.
Can't ever get anything done around here. Let's head to our phone line. Welcome in TC to the program. TC, good morning. Thank you for calling in.
I'm sorry. I love you guys. I always love you guys for life, but I have to push back on this.
Okay.
So standard time is the right time. So it's the right time. So if anything, they need to change the law to where when it goes back in November, it needs to stay that way. It's going to get dark regardless. When you think about it in the fall, time goes back. Usually it gets dark around 4:35.
Yeah,
it's horrible.
If it stays like that, you still gonna get dark early. It doesn't matter. It's gonna get dark early. It gets dark early. What's 6? It gets dark early by 6. Okay, so it needs to.
That sounds better to me.
You ever had a child?
No, I don't. It doesn't sound.
You ever had a child?
Right now in the summertime, it gets dark at 8:30. 8:39.
Right.
That all gets wiped away in November, regardless if you
not regardless. It'll be an hour better if we keep it like it is.
An hour there is 6. 6. Okay, 6.
6 is great. If your kid gets home at 3,
you can't golf at 6. You can't golf at 6. You can't do anything after 6. It doesn't matter.
I'm excited that we've turned this into an arguing topic.
If your kid gets home from,
I really love you guys. So it's not really. I'm really just joking around.
Right, but say you get home from work.
That's a good debate.
Say you get home from work, and it's not a good debate. Say you get home from work at 5, and your boy wants to play catch. In one scenario, you can play catch. In the other scenario, you say, it's dark.
We'll do it in
we
3
can't
months.
play catch.
Play inside.
I think
That's a great
we
idea.
should enable.
Start chucking the
This
ball
is my
around
default
inside.
thing. Can I play catch? That's my default thing. If the answer is yes, I'm for it.
By the way, I may not be able to play golf at 6, but yeah, you can
go to
start
the
around at
driving
like
range.
3,
Yeah.
and not have it be dark an hour and a half in
You
there.
could stop by the driving range.
Yeah, I'm pro. It is daylight savings time, right? I'm pro savings time.
What? This is
Right?
you claim to know the English language. Daylight savings. It saves daylight.
I thought it was
You
saving
think
it
saves
early.
it in the morning?
Yes.
You're not saving it in the morning. You save it at the
Sunrise savings time. Yep.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
I'm worried about the mornings as far as, kids, bus, that kind of thing. It's
Yeah.
going to be dark early.
Well, PK's come up with a solution.
Miner's helmet.
Yeah, there you go. Let's just put them
Who's
all
buying
in
those?
Buy
We have
stock.
to buy 'em?
Reflective tape.
Buy stock in miners helmets, apparently. Whatever miners helmet
That's a good
company is
idea.
going on out
That's
there.
a good idea.
Sure,
Right?
just
Stock
add one more
tips
thing
on
to the
Robby and
stuff.
Rexrode.
Yeah.
Stock tips.
You come here for stock tips, medical advice. What else
These
can we hand
teachers
out?
are very generous with their salaries.
Yeah.
They're highly underpaid, mistreated, and now they're going to be sneaking certain kids miners' helmets.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
You have to like stack them up in the corner of the room when you get in there too. Make sure you get your helmet before you leave.
Timmy forgot his helmet, and he had to come to school in the dark today, and he fell down, and his knee is bleeding.
wear like reflectors and stuff, maybe.
Apparently,
Reflective
this
tape
happened
was the
back
thing.
in the 70s, and
Yes.
everyone got mad and,
Yeah, and they-
changed it back.
They changed it back in a
wait.
matter of months.
What happened in the 70s?
This happened already.
Yeah.
This
Oh,
rule.
yeah, like
They
in
overturned it.
1973 or something.
Yeah.
Well, I
and
read a
everyone
story
got
about
mad.
how the time to pass this is not in the summer when we enjoy the benefits. You got to pass it in the winter
But November. Yeah.
when you're experiencing the dark
That's a good point.
in the
Yeah.
morning.
615-737-1025, our phone number. PK with us the rest of the program. We will get into all things Tennessee Titans with him coming up next. Robby and Rexrode, 1025 the game. Final hour, Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. Paul Kuharsky from paulkuharsky.com with us today on the program. Stand back. There's a hurricane coming through.
Yeah, that's the best we could do because of the lightning.
Nice.
That's kind of set the
That
tone,
works.
you know.
Yeah.
Because of the lightning.
Direct hit.
Everything we now have that as an excuse that we could use for everything.
Yeah.
I'm waiting on Chase. I asked Chase earlier, but Chase, we need to know where the lightning hit. Where exactly? On
Top of the building?
Yeah, top. Like, did it
3 miles down the
Did
road.
it actually zap that? Did it zap that monitor right there? That
Same zip
on the
code.
blink?
Yeah.
How did the
Yeah.
air conditioning survive?
Oh, that's a good question.
that is a good question.
I don't know.
I thought it was going to be. I actually brought sweatsuit stuff because it's been cold. Now today it's kind of hot.
Kind of cold.
So is
kinda
the air
hot.
conditioning working?
It's
I think
working.
so.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got long sleeves on and I'm not miserable.
Yeah, it's working.
Okay. Yeah. So let us know, Chase. Where did it hit? Do we know?
Specifics.
Yeah.
Joe would like to be taken there by ladder after the show to inspect it.
Yeah. I'd like to see
verify.
the actual evidence. Yeah.
Inspect and verify.
That's right. With
Right
my,
there. That's where it was.
My miner hat on.
Oh, it's PK. It's funny you wrote about this because we've talked about this a lot this week. The JC Latham discussion. We've talked a little bit last week about center and right guard have occupied so much of our time because of the unknowns there that JC Latham. I think people in some cases have just assumed, oh, at least I got Latham over there on the right side. I don't really know what that means yet. I don't know what version of JC Latham we're going to get. I don't know if, what is JC Latham's best version and what does that mean for the rest of his career? And you wrote about this yesterday at paulkuharsky.com discussing the JC Latham angle of all this. What do you make of things and where things stand with him heading into year 3 and in what's going to be just a massive pivotal year for him this year?
Is a element of uncertainty that needs to turn to certainty on a team that has too much uncertainty. He came out of his rookie year and he pretty much immediately decided that he needed to lose weight and play slimmer. And this came without any prompting from coaches. Like the coaches may have wanted to take him there, but he jumped them and said it and decided on it and came back slimmer. And you said, hey, this is a good sign. He had a mediocre rookie season. And he was playing on the left, and a lot of us questioned if he belonged there and all of that. But seems to have a good head on his shoulders, good awareness here, like mature decision, right? And spoke, rather eloquently on the subject. He said, all right, he's moving to right and he's going to be slimmer. And then, by November, Jihad Ward and Arden Key, not the biggest leaders on the team. Ward more credibility as kind of a self-made guy in the system in a year, but Key are guys who've been around and knows how things work at least.
He knows paulkuharsky.com well.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah, knows Paul Kuharsky. We're both calling out young players, unnamed young players, for like not following veteran leadership and not doing things the right way and everything. And this came right after a 4-penalty game for Latham. It came after Mike Silver came into town and wrote part of what he wrote. A big key to what he wrote was that Simmons had stopped practice because he didn't like Latham's effort and Latham's response to a penalty in practice. So it was pretty easy, and nobody was pushing back on the idea that we were all saying that, along with Tavondre Sweat, Latham was one of the targets of this. And so my question, what I wrote is, which Latham are we getting? This kind of mature, self-aware JC Latham who did the weight loss thing, and at the end of the season was saying like, look, there's physical stuff I got to work on, but the play's going to come. I've got to get my mentals in order. Or this less mature guy who just let things get in his head and, had people questioning his practice effort and was committing penalties sometimes at an alarming rate that were really killing them. And I think, I don't know how good a right tackle he's going to be, but I think if he gets his game straight, he's got the physical characteristics that should make him at least a mid-level right tackle, right? Or top half right tackle. If they could have a top half right tackle at least, you don't have to concern yourself with that. And the conversation is not going to be, oh, he needs to be a guard, which was never a conversation with the Titans, but which was a big conversation on your text line.
Yeah. No, that was a conversation around the league, though. I mean, some people have thought that about him coming in, that might end up being his outcome.
Right. But it can't be a conversation here this year, a legitimate thing that they consider. He's the right tackle. I don't have an alternative there. I mean, you got this Deckless, who's one of the worst tackles in the league last year. So they got another Dennis Daly / Andre Dillard on their roster as their swing tackle. He's not an alternative to play starting right tackle. God help us. So
the Dilly era, Dillard and Daly, the Dilly era.
Dill era.
God, just thought of that. All right, sorry, continue.
It's brilliant. So I mean, that's the end of my point. You've got a concern at center. I think it's going to be Schlotman there, but what is he? You've got uncertainty at right guard. You know what you have at left tackle. It's like a replacement level left tackle with a big concern coming. You know what you've got in Skoronski, like your most elite guy on the line. And you need to know what you have at right tackle.
Yep.
Like, let the concerns be the two concern spots. But if you're adding right tackle to the concern list, you got a problem.
Big problem.
So we were talking, I guess it was yesterday, right? If you could pick a play, we had this thing that thought like breakout player. I picked Winston, but if you could pick, if the Titans could pick, okay, who are we going to, you can pick any player. We take Cam Ward aside. I mean, he's a quarterback. This is going to be the breakout player of 2026. Sounds like you might lean Latham. If you could pick one, who would it be? Would it be him? Would it be someone else?
Breakout player. I think it'd be pretty good if it was Carnell Tate.
Yeah.
I'd probably say Carnell Tate first, but I'd have Latham top 3 for sure. I'd have Winston on there too.
When these guys were
Falk,
and
Femi,
right? You'd love to have a bunch, right? But yeah, if you had to pick one. So when these guys last year, I might probably ask you this at the time, but when they were saying about the young players, were they just talking about him? Was it just?
No, I think Sweat was in there.
It was him and Sweat. That's right. I think we did have
it
actually. Now that it's coming back to me, thank you. Thanks for jarring my memory. What if? Oh, there's a good one too. What was it?
The question I asked about what would make Titans fans the most mad would it be Sweat turning into a good player in New York, Bill Callahan just revitalizing Atlanta's offensive line and them just being road graders out there, or L'Jarius Sneed just turning into a big time player for Kansas City again.
I think Callahan, though Sneed would be close.
I think Sweat's the clear answer.
Really?
I think it's because they could
the
still have
system
Sweat, but they could still have him. If he's amazing with the Jets, it's like we think about him right now.
Well, they could still have Sneed. I mean, it'd be crazy.
I guess.
I think Sneed would be the answer. He goes out there.
Wow, we go almost 3 different directions.
He just starts
all of them are good
lighting
answers.
it up.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's just a lockdown corner again.
Sneed can walk now. It's amazing. He's around the facility. Unbelievable out there.
And the knee and the quad, all fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are 3 good questions. And watch all 3 of them be great.
Yeah.
Bill Callahan, man.
So look at that Atlanta offensive line out there just road grading people.
If that's true, like, are they going to be the best team in the league? They have to
got a quarterback.
Play. Yeah.
Are you a Penix guy?
He's okay. Not really.
I think Tua's going to win it.
I think we'll see Tua play a lot of football this year.
Yeah.
Get excited.
Yeah. Well,
What a
lot of weapons.
What a choice there.
Yeah.
Sophie's choice at
Yeah.
quarterback.
So you brought up Femi, and you put this out there last week too. He missed spring practice because of a hamstring. So you're talking about a rookie year where he was injured on the fractured leg. Now you're missing, it's the spring, it's OTAs. I guess at the end of the day, it's not that big of a deal, but missing more time with injury after a rookie season that was basically a 0.
Yeah, if
from
you've got one
Oladipo.
guy you don't want to miss the spring, he'd probably
be it.
outside of the quarterback,
Yeah.
he'd be your first choice. So it's not good. And there's just this undercurrent with fans already that he's a bust, which is premature. But the feeling of that is because he's not anything close to a prototypical guy for this defense. No matter what, Saleh says about, well, we had him scouted for our stuff and we liked him too, but to take him all the way from off the ball, take him from an off the ball linebacker, 10 games of playing 3-4 outside linebacker at UCLA and 6 games of that here, now to 3-4 and 4-3 end is just, that's a extreme change over the course of 2 or 3 years.
You're setting the excuses up for him very well here.
I just don't know if
we'll check in with him in 2028.
if he's going to fit. And when they drafted him for the other system, they were already setting the table for a Keldrick Falk to come in and be in front of him.
Yep.
So your first defensive pick, a second rounder in your first draft, you're drafting a second level edge talent, looking for somebody to come in front of him. Well, the in front of him guy has happened, but if he can't be a top 4 end for you this year with playing, 45% of the snaps, I don't know. There's a lot of reasons not to be optimistic, and he's really got to come in and show what he can do. But is he just going to be kind of a run stuffer, and then you're in year 3 already?
Yeah.
Well, you can talk scheme, and I know it matters. It's not nothing, but are you athletic? Are you powerful? Are you sudden? Can you get off blocks? Can you make plays like that? Go in any system. Put your hand down. Stand up. If you're good enough to go where he went in the draft, you should be able to at least figure out being a rotational player, right?
But I mean, if you get a rotational player at 52 or wherever they took,
That's not what you're looking for.
No,
That's
but
a
my
little
God, that'd be a jump. That'd be something.
and
right?
is he's your 4th best, probably, conceivably.
Yeah.
And then
Does this remind you of Kevin Dodd at all?
Well, no, it's too early to make that comparison. A lot of people are throwing that around.
Yeah.
Too early.
It's just because of the draft positioning. 10
and
years
the
later.
missing the all but 6 games.
Yeah. 615-737-1025, our phone number. More coming up next with PK. Steve Eiserman's out as GM of the Red Wings, Joe. So I figured you might want to know that too.
Whoa!
Yeah. He's being transitioned to an advisor role. So there you go.
Oh,
Detroit.
I'm sure he'll relish that advisor role.
Detroit.
Stevie Y, I still love you, man. I still love
Born
you.
and raised in South Detroit.
Hey, I thought the lightning hit the thing.
That he's got ready.
He's ready.
The hurricane song, nowhere to be found. But South Detroit.
I'm sorry, Stevie Y.
Robby and
I love you,
Rexrode,
man.
1025 the game. Robby and Rexrode, 102.5 The Game. Robbie Stanley, Joe Rexrode, Ian Safar, Paul Kuharsky from paulkuharsky.com is with us. We have determined that Steve Yzerman's jersey will be unretired in Detroit.
No. Unless he was responsible for this explosive diarrhea virus that we haven't yet discussed. That should have been the rant. How do I avoid the explosive diarrhea virus?
Apparently, it's going to get worse before it gets better.
This is
Folks,
the
don't
first
eat
time hearing
vegetables. Don't eat anything green. Just eat nothing but carbs and protein, right?
I mean, fast food, other than Taco Bell, I guess, could be the safest thing for you right now, you know?
Could be, but some of them use lettuce still.
Just avoid lettuce. Wherever you go.
Don't order anything green with anything. But you just read a thing, seriously though. You just read a thing that it's about to get worse.
The headline is the explosive diarrhea outbreak is about to get much bigger.
God dang it. What is this called? Like diasporus or something?
I don't know what it's called.
Sciatica.
Yeah. It's cyclosporasis. There you go.
Look at you nailing it.
And it sounds like, I mean, it's like
cyclosporiasis.
It sounds like basically you're like, what's his name in Dumb and Dumber for about a week straight.
Hey,
which sounds terrible.
It does.
I mean, like it's no joke.
Stay hydrated.
We will make jokes about it, but it's no joke.
Which one of you will be out tomorrow?
Definitely Rexrode.
That would have been my.
I normally like vegetables and fruits. I'm
odds.
totally off all of it now.
Eat like crap.
We had although you know, I made a nice chicken Alfredo dish last night. There was broccoli in it. Dang, we're okay.
This could lead to
okay. Right?
It's cooked, right?
I mean,
yes, it was cooked. That's the thing. You got to cook it.
You got to cook it.
If you cook everything to 149 internally or whatever it is, you're fine.
Cook your lettuce.
Yeah, but cooked lettuce is disgusting. So just don't eat it, right?
Playoff wins in Dallas since 2015. Spain, 2. The Packers, 2. The 49ers, 1. The Cowboys, 1.
Love it.
Yes.
This has 1 million views.
There were plenty of memes yesterday with like Dak Prescott in Mbappe's jersey. So, you know.
Are you going to be watching Quarterback on Netflix?
God, that's I totally forgot to do that yesterday. Did you watch it?
A little bit behind. No, I haven't watched.
None of us have watched it.
Did
you watch it?
In all fairness, I didn't get home till like 10 o'clock.
I need to watch it. I did watch Bellinger win MVP of the All-Star game.
There you go.
Last night.
You watched the All-Star game?
No.
I watched not one single pitch.
Watched it. I did not watch one single thing of the home run derby. I was very proud of that.
People are saying it was better. Like the format is better. I heard.
Except somebody. It doesn't help your event when somebody nobody's ever heard of wins it.
That's true.
So I don't care that some guy I never heard of is the home run champion. You need home run hitters in the league.
I agree.
So you want to rig? So you want to rig it?
No,
you want it to
I
be
don't.
pro wrestling?
I don't even want contestants in it that I've never heard of.
I agree.
All the contestants should be guys you know.
He's a good young player. I mean, if you don't follow baseball at all, then,
I follow baseball somewhat.
Okay. I don't think that he wasn't like some dude that got off the street. Like he's a good young player
What's
for the
his
Cards. Jake Waters.
Jake Waters?
What's his actual name?
Walker something.
Jordan Walker, isn't it?
No, I got both. I got both the first letters right. Come on.
Proving my point. Never have you proved my point better than just there.
Jerry Wainwright. I don't know.
Home run derby champion Jake Waters on the program later.
I mean, the National League just has some problems, obviously. Winning a meaningless exhibition game. It lost, 11 of 13? It's pitiful. Pitiful.
Yeah, honestly, Caleb's ripping you. Of course, I had his name wrong, so I can't anymore.
Jake Waters.
These Cardinals fans on our text line are mad. Like they're dude.
They're gonna be a lot more mad at you.
The Cardinals are one of the few teams that's less relevant than. At least the Yankees go to the playoffs every year. Cardinals out there like still holding themselves up as some like exemplary club. What do they do?
So
they have a nice park and people are big fans. St. Louis Cardinals claim to fame. We have like great fans. And we started this thing where people take their shirts off in a section and root really hard. And they started doing it because the baseball is pretty boring. And they said, what can we do to spice things up?
Their road blue uniforms, though, might be the best uniforms in sports. You know? Like the blue with the
It's
Cardinals.
pretty good, man.
That's a nice uniform.
That's pretty good
Yeah,
uniform.
The best uniform in sports
You know who
starts,
really looks good in
starts with
that?
white,
No,
white
relax.
and
You
navy.
know who really looks good
pinstripe.
in those Cardinals jerseys? Jake Waters. He looks great.
That Jake Waters, man.
He looks great.
I mean,
That guy.
is he a Cardinal?
Jake?
Yeah.
He's bounced around a little bit.
Is he a Cardinal?
He's who the Tigers are getting back in
Yes.
the Scooble trade coming up.
Yeah, there we go.
So
We-
the Cardinals fans
If
are.
we don't
are
get Jake
excited about
Waters
this.
back, we're not. No
That's
deal.
what they have
It's
going on.
no deal. You better get Jake Waters back in there.
So, hey, real quick on this Cam Ward thing. This is one thing someone shared it with us. I saw this yesterday too, from actually the same person who was asking about the gout. Was asking why is Callahan letting his rookie QB choose his own play in his first ever game in the league within field goal range. So apparently that was one
Is
thing.
that the one where he said you can't throw a pick here? You can't throw a pick here. He said,
Take
"I
a
won't
sack.
throw a pick.
Take a sack.
I won't
Take
take
a
a sack.
sack,
I won't
yeah.
take a sack." And then he takes a sack.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it could have been the one where, the coach watched his receiver's knee come down in bounds. It's like, can't have, it's not a catch.
Elbow.
Can't get elbow, yeah. The elbow, can't do it. Golly.
Is that addressed at all?
I mean,
I
do
hope
I
so.
have? Do I?
None
have
of us
to be-
know.
It had to have been addressed pretty quickly.
Do I have to be
Yeah.
interested in this piece of propaganda because he's in it?
I think you need to watch it.
Yeah,
You have to
I
watch
thought you
it.
were going to say.
Yeah, I think you might have
We
to.
should all watch it, right?
I guess. Although, as I said yesterday, I'm not sure how much a reliving of last year's Titan season I want to do. I think we've seen enough of it.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I mean,
but there might be some funny stuff.
yeah, but I'm sure that funny stuff will come out on social media. I don't know if I want to invest that much time into it.
No, honestly, if anybody out there has watched the whole
Nick
thing,
Suss
if
has
you want to
watched the
give
whole
us
thing. He's got a big write up.
Yeah.
Which is what I should have done.
Nick
I
wrote,
wrote
up,
about J.C. Layton
Nick wrote up the whole thing.
off the beaten path. He binge watched it and wrote up the whole thing.
Oh, good. Well, I'll just read that then. Never mind.
Never mind. All good.
But yeah, if any of you have watched the whole thing and anything really stands out to you, you want to give us Cliff's notes.
Yeah, sure.
He said, here's his 8 minutes ago. This is his tease. It's a great tease. Cam Ward is a subpar Gatorade flavor guesser, believes soap is the ultimate Christmas gift, loves him a fresh dead shrimp, and has destroyed roughly $6,000 in tablets. I binge watched every second of Netflix Quarterback, so you don't have to. Good job there, Nick.
Sounds like I can do without.
Good job.
Yeah, but you know what? That's good beat writer work on July 15th. If you got something to,
No, it's very
To
good.
occupy it, yeah.
I'm not being sarcastic.
Brian says, I'm 2 episodes in on quarterback, and my major takeaway is I'm so glad that coaching staff is out of the building. They really were a joke. This is from Brian.
Look, I've been candid about this. I've been diagnosed with sleep apnea. I'm a couple weeks behind Joe, and this show's not going to help me.
No, it's not.
This show won't give you oxygen.
No, it's not going to keep me awake. I mean, I'm really into the World Cup, and I'm falling asleep during that. What do you think this is going to do?
I think you'll be out. Be done pretty quickly.
Trevor says, I watched the whole season. It's basically a Joe Flacco show. Ward's definitely featured the least. No mention of the elbow equals 2 feet.
That's unfortunate.
That is
I feel like
unfortunate.
that needs its own episode.
Also, like Cardinals fans are pissed at you, man. You are not welcome to the baseball world anymore.
Here are other details.
Jake Waters and I would like you to please step
Jake
aside.
Waters.
Okay?
Ward's given up Fortnite. These are more notes from Suss. He's given up Fortnite because the young kids who play the game are simply too good at it.
I would agree.
A seed is a dot.
Yep.
This, frankly, is the thing that Ward talks about the most. A seed is a well-thrown pass.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Fourth episode begins with Callahan's firing. 2 minutes of screen time devoted to the defining hinge point of the Titans season.
Okay.
And finally, Ward uses the command DAP instead of shake to get his dog Uno to lift up its paw on command.
Okay.
we're not missing a ton.
Sounds like I'm going with the write-up.
Thank you, Nick.
Way
Suss.
to go. Good job, Nick. Nice job. We'll have more with PK coming up next. Take your questions on the Titans, 615-737-1025. Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game. Welcome back in, Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game. Taking your thoughts at 615-737-1025. Way more people attacking Kuharsky on the text line for Jordan Walker than Rexrode, who called him Jake Waters.
I mean, I still
I
respect
admitted I
him.
didn't know who he was.
I respect
and he misnames him. And I get more criticism.
More criticism.
Look,
I said he's a good young player. I just
see
misnamed
baseball,
him. You know?
I see baseball through the eyes of my team, which I think is what most people do.
I would agree.
All right. Now, if the Yankees have played the Cardinals recently, I mean, I might have played them in the last month when I've had World Cup fever and really zoned out of baseball.
What do you think of their first baseman, Jack Clark? He's pretty good.
Ozzie Smith is a very dynamic shortstop.
Heck of a shortstop they got out there.
And I mean, this
Vince
is the last
Coleman,
time the Cardinals were
Leadoff.
good, right?
No, unfortunately, they beat my Tigers in 2006 because Verlander choked, but I'm not bitter. God, that was 20 years ago. That's also
I mean, I would
reason to
put
be
the
depressed.
Cardinals up for a delusional fan base that lives in the past. My fan base is doing the same. It's been a long time, but my fan base has a lot more history. The Cardinals act like they have the Yankees history.
yeah. No one bandwagons like Yankees fans.
I'm not bandwagoning. I'm a lifelong fan, so I don't know what you're talking about. For me,
I think everybody who has become a Yankees fan like since 1927 is just a bandwagon.
I'm
sports
against
fan.
those people who aren't born in the tri-state area. Like Terry McCormick's a lifelong Yankee fan, and I don't accept it because the guy hasn't been to New York except to go see the Yankees.
I was
At
in
least he went to go see the Yankees.
middle school. It's elementary / middle school for me. It was, it was Jeter and all those guys. Like they were just winning World Series left and right.
Yeah.
So I was like, screw you guys. I'm going to root for the Red Sox. So I did that for like 2 years.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that better.
Did the Red Sox break through in one of those 2
They
years?
did, yeah. They sure did.
Maybe you're the reason. You might
Maybe.
have tilted the scales.
That's why expansion of the playoffs is the worst thing that ever happened.
There we go. There we go. Just a couple weeks out from training camp with the Tennessee Titans, and we've talked about the offensive line part of this. What about Marcus Harris? I mean, I assume that he's going to end up being the starter at the nickel position heading into all this. How are we feeling about that? And if he turns out to be a good player, or at least an adequate level player, how transformative could that be for this defense, provided the health? We've talked about the depth at corner. Everybody's scared to death about that. But if he can turn out to be a serviceable starter, how big a deal is that for this defense in your mind?
He's one of the guys I'd put in a basket where right now, I mean, I thought he played reasonably well given the circumstances. I mean, that the three guys who were supposed to be the key corners disappeared last year from injury and 2 trades. But I think the hype, and this will give me an idea for a story, the hype overwhelms the production right now. They like him and they're talking him up. And I think he's a good, scrappy player that you like in that role. Also, there's nobody else. So that helps accentuate you on the depth chart.
Yep.
But, and Drew Beatty, my film guy at paulkuharsky.com, did a piece last week that's still worth looking at about the secondary and kind of posits that Harris kind of keys it. If Flott and Taylor are good outside, doesn't mean as much if Harris isn't good inside. I like his mentality. I think he's a sharp guy. I think he's got a lot of characteristics that will pay off. I think the system fits him and he fits the system, but there's a lot of we'll see guys on this team. And we've had an offseason of Marcus Harris hype, and we need to see him live up to it. And we need to see some depth behind him. And I think that's beyond Tony Adams, who carries the same kind of questions. Tony Adams has some qualities about him, but he's been a terrible tackler and he takes some bad angles. And I can see Titans fans seeing him do that in a preseason game and tearing their hair out and being, uh-oh. So brace yourself for that. And they've got to retrain him on some of that stuff.
So on the Winston thing, I mean, first of all,
Winston's another guy to me, the hype. I mean,
you're saying?
He did some nice things in camp, but people were just like, oh my God, this guy might be the key to the defense. I'm not there.
You're not
yet
seeing that
at all. I mean, maybe, but not yet.
So when you watch him play, anyone come to mind?
He's a little over anxious, crawling up people's backs, and people have been like, well, that's a good thing. you want to have to rein a guy in, all of that. Well, I'm like,
Yeah,
I'd like to see a guy
sometimes.
be disciplined
Yeah.
when the situation calls for discipline. And, but that's one of those, we would rather say whoa than go kind of thing. So we'll see. I remember more last year seeing him and thinking he's more of a box safety than I would want in the third round. You can find box safeties. I want the covered safety. And we've talked about Amani Hooker slowing down. They need a deep covered safety. They say both safeties are the same. That's fine. One of them is going to have to turn and run, and that needs to be Winston. And so I need to see him effectively turn and run before I'm going to anoint him as the future of Titans safetydom.
Yeah, Nick Saban thinks he was a first-round pick.
Mistakenly, or
like that he's a first-round talent.
All right. Well, I allow for that possibility, but I need to see it instead of project.
Yeah. Is there a fluidity there that makes it possible?
He's a fluid guy, and I think he's got a good head on his shoulders. But based on what, like they've seen it,
right?
Well, because they want to be excited.
Yeah, it won't really be seen until
a game
Sundays, but yeah.
What? So it's kind of jarring having this conversation about the Titans, but we've talked about the depth at receiver. Like, it's semi-decent when you look at the depth at receiver. What for Io Manor, who I think, stepped in, did some nice things last year as a 4th-round pick. Nothing crazy, but did some nice things. I mean, I don't think, based on where they're at right now and assuming health, he's going to have a ton of opportunity out there this year. So what do you make of that? What do you make of, like, if you're the Titans trying to round out that receiving room, whether it's Osborne, whether it's Oliver, whatever it is, how do you go about kind of determining who plays what role? How does Io Manor factor into all that? Is he going to have to turn into like some really good special teamer out there as like the 5th wide receiver potentially heading into this year? How do you view all that?
He certainly needs to make a mark on special teams. And then the other question, and this is an early question for Dable, how much are you going to rotate those receivers?
Yep.
I want the best guys out there as often as possible. So I don't want Tate limited outside of being tired and taking the regular snaps off. If you run a 40-yard route, you got to come off the field. But if you're running short stuff, or if you're blocking on this play, how much packaging are they going to do and all of that stuff. I don't want to see you designing ways to get Io Manor on the field if your other guys are ready. I mean, don't get Tate and Wandale off the field to create opportunities for Io Manor. If he's 5th, have him do what the 5th guy does. And hopefully he's good at what the 5th guy does, and that reassures you if one of the top 4 guys is out, that he can do it. And in some games, the 5th guy might have, a big opportunity to make a big play, and hopefully he makes it.
I'm just assuming, that Ridley is going to miss some time, right? Yeah. At this point. So,
I mean, they're not going to stay completely healthy at wide receiver all year.
No,
it's not going to happen.
Never do.
Yeah. And that would be the most likely, but obviously you hope it's not like Tate, who misses 6 games or whatever like that. But yeah, I do feel like Io Manor is a guy who, because DK is faster and you could see probably a little bit higher ceiling there, Io Manor's kind of forgotten about. Maybe he's just what he is, a solid backup for a while, but
which is fine.
But maybe he takes a step.
I think they get a lot of benefit of the doubt too, because Smarket's always excited about wide receivers, but they're 2 4th-round picks. DK did some good things as a receiver, but he was an all-pro because of what he did as a returner.
Yeah.
And sometimes you see these guys build on the rookie season. A lot of times you see guys in their second season struggle as people kind of figure them out and things get more complicated. So there's no guarantee that they have linear gains.
Sure.
So I think we're all presuming, this, and we talked about this last week. This receiving core is really good looking in. Well, it wasn't long ago that we saw really good preseason from Chester Rogers and I'm going to forget his name again.
Marcus
Johnson.
Marcus Johnson.
Yep.
Marcus Johnson.
And nothing
was actually
nothing happened.
Good.
Yeah, he was good. But the reason he was available for the Titans is because he was hurt. coming in, and he got hurt right at the end of camp or right at the start of the season. And Chester Rogers contributed eight whole catches. So, when this team with the DNA problems that they have, Joe,
Oh yeah,
you don't know what you're.
I like it.
Yeah, it's that DNA just gets them.
One texter wanting a detailed analysis of the kicking game for PK. How are we feeling about Joey Sly and Tommy Townsend?
Well, Tommy Townsend's going to be an upgrade over Hecker. I don't think there's any question about that. And Joey Sly only hit like 80% last year, which in the modern NFL is not good enough. And special teams stands to get better. I need to look, talking about this on a football show with Braden Gall this week, at how Salah's special teams were with the Jets. I would presume that Fossil's a better coach than he had. And the Titans did a lot of back-end roster building, right? There's only so much you could do top down, but there's a lot you could do bottom up. And so he should have better players on special teams overall to help him. But Joey Sly is not hardly like the best.
No, I don't feel
kicker
great
they've
about
had.
Joey Sly. Yeah. He's got a big leg, which is good, but I need you to be able to make the chippies too.
If you're in a 10-team fantasy league, he's not active.
No. 615-737-1025, our phone number. One more segment with PK coming up next. Robby and Rexrode, 1025 The Game. Football offseason coverage on 1025 The Game, presented by Tennessee Brew Works and Parman Tractor and Equipment. PK with us to close out the program here today.
Yeah, so just because we're We're an everything show. I want to make sure we keep people informed. I was just told that this explosive diarrhea virus can be in you for 2 weeks before you show symptoms. That's a terrifying thought.
I love how you did just what readers and listeners do. You say you were just told.
Just
You
told.
read that silently
Yeah.
to yourself, but somebody told you that.
I'm hearing.
I love when people read my stuff and they say, "Yeah, somebody told me."
Well, I mean,
Oh,
I was
somebody
just
told you.
texted. I was texted to be.
I'm hearing that the explosive diarrhea virus could be worse than we thought.
Like,
So
that's
you're gonna
terrible.
have that
2
for
weeks,
2
walking around for
weeks,
2
and then
weeks as a carrier, and all of a sudden, yep, there
Right
goes a
at
week on the
start of
pot.
training camp.
Yeah, how about that?
You can conduct the show while you're carrying this virus.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
New
have to-
new lows for the Robbie and Rexrode program.
Could be new highs when it comes to video stream.
Ian can drown out the sound, and you can go off video.
Think of all the new sound effects we can provide for Ian.
He
Oh,
can
there's one
drown
or
it
two
out.
right now that I would love to pull that I would like to drop, but can't right now. But that's okay.
He can drown it out in the background.
What if I get hit by lightning? Would that kill the virus inside me?
That's an
Probably.
interesting question.
They kill some other things too.
Let's get Dr. Bombay on the line.
Dr. Nick Riviera.
Yeah. We
Uh,
welcome in Jake Waters to the show.
I mean, these Cardinals fans are really upset with you.
So they've got some young guy that hits a few homers.
I mean, he leads the league in RBIs, apparently.
74 of them. That's
The
a lot.
league,
That is a
which,
lot. That's pretty
which
good.
league? Like the entire league or
Yeah.
this little national league?
Oh yeah, the senior circuit. Whatever.
I mean, National League did get shut out in the All-Star game last night.
I mean,
Yeah.
all those things don't really count because Judge is hurt.
It's true.
Oh, okay. You know him. Good for you.
I've heard of him.
Yeah.
Heard of that guy before.
A few MVPs. Like, talk to me about this Walker or Waller,
Waters.
whatever. After
Yeah.
he's got some of those.
Jake, I call him Jake Dub for short. Jen Clarksville said, I agree with PK. The OC should not design plays for IOM.
I think that's supposed to be Io Manor.
Okay. OC should design plays that score points and get yards. Yes.
Well, they're not. That's.
Thank you.
I mean, I don't know.
I mean, there are plays that are just, like they used to bring out they'd bring out Taywon Taylor every once in a while.
Yeah, yeah.
Like they're or Khalif Raymond. Remember, Khalif Raymond would
Go deep.
okay, yeah, we're gonna try to set up a little deep shot here.
You know who
Scored a
loved
touchdown in the Ravens playoff game.
Amy Adams Strunk loved Khalif Raymond.
Khalif Raymond was awesome.
I know that.
That dude's great. Texture says the only explosive diarrhea I hear right now is Paul's baseball takes.
Okay.
Well done. Way to bring it all together.
It's good stuff.
Tie it all together here.
Good
I mean,
stuff
these
there.
Cardinals, they're kind of cute.
They do have the second most World Series after your Yankees.
I know, but by like 13. They have the second most World Series, and the gap is like the team with the third most World Series.
That's true.
I actually love fans who really celebrate stuff that happened in like the 1920s,
Oh, like Montreal Canadiens fans are the
Yeah,
worst at that.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
yeah, you guys
Similar.
won a cup
Similar. Yeah.
when there were 4 teams in the league. Great.
Right. Yeah.
Have
Boy.
we won more recently than you?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I understand that we haven't won one since 1984. Okay.
Okay, so I mean,
I still cherish that championship.
I'm not
I'm
proud that
sticking
the
with my
Yankees. I'm
team.
not proud that the Yankees have such a drought. But if we've won more recently than you, like, what are you rubbing my nose in?
I'm just saying, it's kind of like Notre Dame fans, similar thing. It's like, yeah, great. That's what back when newsreels were telling us what happened in sports. You were amazing. Congratulations.
I mean, I'm disgusted and disappointed with what the Yankees have done, but we're there every year. Where are you?
we've been there. We've been there last couple of years.
This is like his big, Pistons are better than the Knicks,
That's
except
why
for the part where they couldn't even reach a series against the Knicks.
why they're buying
Look,
at the
you've
end,
you're not doing well with the baseball. Do not even tread into basketball today.
And that is a
okay?
factual
Do
thing.
not do it.
That's a factual thing. They're a tough matchup for the Knicks, except they can't get into a series against the Knicks.
I saw a clip from Cam Ward this morning that made me a little nervous. He was doing an interview. It was on my Instagram reels.
Okay.
And he was like, there are really 3 quarterbacks that I watch. Like when I'm watching quarterback plays, like I watch Aaron Rodgers, I watch Tom Brady, and I've gotten into watching Brett Favre. And his point was, Brett Favre had a confidence about him where he just felt like he could make every throw. And I kind of want that to be me. So, sometimes I get in trouble for trying to do too much, but like I kind of respect Brett Favre's ability to just make every throw out there. And I was like, well, I don't know that you have a Brett Favre arm,
Yeah.
Cam. So maybe don't do that.
Yeah.
Nice release, but not quite that zip.
Yeah. Well, and also, I mean, Brett Favre, great player, but boy, did he throw some bad picks.
He sure did.
God, did he throw some bad picks.
Yes. Okay,
Don't do
Brian,
that.
Brian Dable, if you heard that, maybe send him a text.
Here's some other quarterbacks for you to watch.
How about Daniel Jones?
I mean, the great thing about watching Brady is that ball comes out fast, man. He's not holding on to it for too long.
And not too
Yeah, who would
many
be the
foolish throws.
Brady's an obvious one, but who else would be if you were telling the quarterback, here's three
Breeze.
quarterbacks.
You watch Breeze.
I mean, Peyton though, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Peyton. I mean, like pre-snap,
in control.
Breeze.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not by the way, my Joe Montana take that Tyler Dunn had some quarterback guy in his pocket. You see this?
No.
And he like totally made the case for why Joe Montana is like the most overrated quarterback of all time. It's pretty good.
I don't know what to tell you. I like watching the guy play. I like watching the guy win. I like watching that whole system
Yeah.
flow.
No, I mean he was a very good quarterback. No doubt. No one would argue that against that. He was a little bit of more of a beneficiary than other quarterbacks have been in the history.
Here's my thing about the beneficiary and the non-beneficiaries. Like you land where you land, and
Sure.
then you benefit or you don't benefit.
But there are some quarterbacks who have to do more and have to drag a team, and some quarterbacks who are like, here you are with a system right now that defenses can't deal with because your coach is actually an innovator. And also, a couple years in here's Jerry Rice.
But see, I also think that like Jerry Rice was terrific, unquestionable. But everybody always presumes that Jerry Rice helped make Joe Montana. And are we not? Is there not a possibility that Joe Montana helped make Jerry Rice?
Yeah.
Like, are we sure that if you drop
I'm not saying
Jerry
it's
Rice
all
in a
one-
random
it's not a
place with a
one-way
random
road.
quarterback, that Jerry Rice wouldn't have been Jerry Rice?
Here's I'd bet money on that you could ever actually have a bet resolved here. I feel way better about Jerry Rice going anywhere and being a great player than I do about Joe Montana going anywhere and being a great player.
I think that's fair.
Okay, well that's fine.
But
Then we're based on the same page.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he sucks.
I
Kinda.
mean,
No, I'm not.
I've always
This guy did, and I was like, no, that's aggressive for me.
There's no bigger combo hater of Montana and Brady than you.
Anywhere. I Brady's way better than Joe Montana. Brady's way better than Joe Montana.
Okay.
So I guess I'm a
yeah,
Montana.
Brady's way better than everybody.
Yeah. See, here we go.
Than Peyton Manning.
Yes.
Come on. You guys
Yes.
seriously think that?
I'm a Tennessee guy. And yes.
I disagree. I disagree.
Yeah, better.
But okay, I don't have a problem saying he's better, but way better than Peyton Manning?
I'll say this: if you
He's the
measure it
greatest
on
player of all
this,
time.
like if you measure it on this, them at their worst, there's no comparison.
I would agree.
Like Manning, when Manning looked bad, when Manning got confused, when Manning got hurt, he walked off the field with that posture, and he was beat. And I don't think Brady had that nearly
but
as
you're
much
doing the thing
when
people do
nearly
with
as-
Jordan, but Brady did have bad moments. He
No,
had
of
bad
course,
games. He had
yeah.
bad seasons.
He did.
I mean,
But
for
he
him.
didn't look as bad when he was bad as Manning looked
I mean,
bad. when
Peyton
he was
Manning
bad.
won a Super Bowl with a broken neck. Does that count?
Yeah, he also had Reggie Wayne, and again, I'm not blaming guys for their circumstances, but he had a lot better supporting cast.
DK,
than
thank you for
Brady
being with us.
most of his career. Don't block the box. Be sure to lock your
We'll
box.
continue this next week.
We will. That does it for us today. Next man up with Jake Lyman coming up next. You're listening to 102.5 The Game.